Welcome to a sold-out Camp Randall Stadium, a Saturday morning battle between the Wisconsin Badgers against the Iowa Hawkeyes. I'm Van Stout, joined by Jamie Vandervelt. You know, when you're lower than a snake's belly in a wagon rut, sometimes you might need a little elixir to fix you up. And the elixir could be the Iowa Hawkeyes. Always the Bumblebees seem to bring out the best in the Badgers, at least as far as this border state rivalry is concerned.
Absolutely. What the Badgers need right now is a game like this to get them pumped up. They're not playing well, but a border rival in Iowa is coming up. For a long time, Iowa dominated this series, 18 straight victories back through the 80s and part of the 90s. And I'll tell you what, this Badger team has 4 straight victories over them. This is just the game they need if they can win this game to maybe get some more momentum.
Let's talk about the quarterbacks. The quarterback for the Iowa Hawkeye offense is Kyle McCann, and he's had a fairly decent senior year.
Yeah, correct. This offense goes how Kyle McCann goes. He's their senior quarterback. He's their leader on offense. He's got over 1,300 yards passing this season, 11 touchdowns. But the key for him is when he turns the ball over, he's also got 10 interceptions.
Now, the quarterback for the Badger defense is senior Mike Eccles, and he's had a very representative final campaign wearing the Cardinal and white.
Mike Eccles needs to play a great game today so they can go over to the other side of the field and help out Scott Starks. He's their senior leader. He's got the most starts on the team with 44. He needs to be out there on an island one-on-one all day against their best receivers so that the defense is able to get over to the other side of the field and take some pressure off some of the younger players.
The side of the Bumblebees make your blood boil a little bit?
Always. It was always a tough battle. I only had the opportunity to play against them 3 times because we had 2 byes in my 5 years, but it doesn't matter who's doing what that year. It's always a tough game.
The Badgers and the Hawkeyes coming up. Some of the late arriving people here at Camp Randall Stadium, and what a glorious day for a college football game. Let's point out a stat. We always like to bring up these things. For the 25th straight time over the last 3 years, Iowa's offense will start the game. This streak dates back to the Northwestern contest between the Wildcats and the Hawkeyes in 1999. So their offense will be on the field to start the game for the 25th consecutive time.
Well, more importantly, the Badgers defense gets out there, and the test is going to start right away for them. They have to get out there and dominate the Iowa offense and be able to get the ball back to their offense. Because the last couple weeks, they've had some problems getting off the field and being able to stop the other team's offense. It'll be an early sign of how the game's going to go on.
The coaches, of course, Barry Alvarez in year number 12. You see his numbers, and his counterpart, Kirk Ferentz, 6th year as a college head coach, 3rd season on the sidelines for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
A lot of empty seats. Hopefully those will fill up.
Yeah, they're still coming in. Here's a look at the series history. And, of course, last year, Wisconsin in a struggle in Iowa City led and won 13-7. And as Jamie said in our open, the Badgers have won 4 straight. If it's 50, I'm a monkey's uncle. It feels like it's about 65. It's a magnificent day. I've got a tee time at about 1:30, so hopefully this will be a very fast game.
We'll try and get you out.
There you go. Back deep, Kahlil Hill among those. He's joined back there by Chris Oliver as they await the kickoff from Adam Espinoza. Hill ranks 18th nationally with an average of 28.1 yards per return. That's C.J. Jones. But Hill is the guy that, if you're Wisconsin, you probably want to try to avoid kicking to. The wind appears to be not much of a factor. It was very, very windy in the capital city on Friday, but fortunately the winds have subsided, and we are ready for football between the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Wisconsin Badgers. Both of these teams trying to get bowl eligible. A line drive kick into the sun, and has no idea where that ball went was Kahlil Hill. He was blinded by the sun, and it's very, very difficult. So that could be a factor as this game wears along.
Yeah, that ball was kicked right into the sun. You saw him put his hand up, and he's actually lucky the ball didn't hit him and come back out of the end zone, because he totally lost it.
Where'd my son? I have no clue. Look at that.
I mean, that barely misses him. That missed him by about a foot.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Iowa 20-yard line. We'll set the lineups. First opportunity. The quarterback is Kyle McCann, 6'5", 214-pound senior. 11 touchdowns, and as Jamie said, more importantly, 10 interceptions. Iowa goes in the air right away, and they were looking for Hill, the leading receiver for the Hawks with 33 catches. That one is incomplete. Now let's show you the people for the Iowa Hawkeyes, starting off with their backfield. McCann, Betts, a 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Allen, Hill, Oliver, and Clark. And then the people up front, and they've done a very, very good job up front. Iowa's offensive line did not allow a sack versus Michigan State and Indiana. They've allowed only 13 sacks in 7 games. That's about a 4-yard pickup for Betts coming in. 130 carries, 528 yards, averaging just about 4 yards a carry. 3rd and 5 for the Iowa offense against the Badger defense. Smith, Herbert, Bryant, and Erasmus James. The backers, Nick Bryson, Thompson, and Schick, replacing the injured Jeff Mack. And in the secondary starts Bose, Broussard, and Eckel. 3rd and 5 coming in. The Iowa Hawkeyes, and 3rd down conversions 45% on the season. McCann with time, and that was incomplete. Very good coverage by Scott Starks. The intended receiver was Chris Oliver, and so McCann goes 0 for 2. The Hawks go 3 and out.
Well, and both times McCann throws the ball, he goes at Scott Starks, and that time Scott's right there, and it's a bad throw, so it doesn't even matter. But first play, they go to the top of the field, and they go after Starks one-on-one. This play just looked like a bad throw, but yeah, Starks is right there. So you know exactly where this offense wants to try and test this defense, this Badger defense. If there's anybody in the stadium that doesn't, you haven't been paying attention the last few weeks.
Nate Kading is the punter and kicker. A high snap, end over end. Davis waving people away in a very favorable bounce for Kading, averaging 41.2 yards per punt, and it's 47 yards, and it finally is whistled dead. Davis needs 70 punt return yards to become the first player in Badger history to record 1,000 yards in 3 categories: punt return yardage, kickoff return, and receiving yards. Let's show you the people in the backfield for Brooks Bollinger, who returns to the starting lineup, joined by Davis, Coons, Evans, Davis, and Anelli. Up front, Johnson, Benning, Johnson, Clinkscale, and Jowers. The Badgers start from their own 28-yard line. Bollinger, handoff, Davis, jukes, and he is just knocked off his feet at about the 31-yard line.
And this is a name we're going to be calling a lot today. Number 33, Bob Sanders. He's their true sophomore safety. He comes up, and all he's going to do is he's going to be manned up on Davis all day today. He comes from 15 yards in the backfield to make this tackle. He was honorable mention All Big Ten last year as a true freshman.
Second and 7 for the Wisconsin offense and Barry Alvarez. Oh, there's movement. That play did get off Davis, and I think they'll probably take the penalty because there was some contact made there in the neutral zone.
Yeah, they'll take the penalty here instead of the 3-yard gain and keep it 2nd down and make it about 2nd and 2 yards. So going back to the defense getting out there for the first series of the game, that was an extremely important 3 plays for them.
Defense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
They had to get out there and get off to a fast start. The strengths of both of these teams are out on the field right now. The strength of Iowa is their defense. The strength of the Badgers is their offense as of late. So it'll be interesting to see who wins the battle, Iowa's offense or Wisconsin's defense.
There you see the defensive line: Cole, Pickens, Claus, Campman, Steen, Meyer, and Fred Barr. Chikose Igiozi. And Davis gets little or no gain there. It's going to be 3rd and 3. Coming in now on 3rd down conversions, the Badgers hit 38%. Although last week against Michigan State, the offense converted on 12 of 19 3rd down chances, a season high 63% conversion rate.
Well, it just was, as the 3rd down play for the defense, for the Badgers defense, was a huge stand for them. This is a huge possibility for the Badgers offense.
You don't want to go 3 and out if you can avoid it. And guess what? They don't, because it's Lee Evans who now extends his streak of consecutive games with a catch. Here's Lee Evans, and a look at just the remarkable year that he has had.
I mean, that first line right there says it all. A Badger receiver, national best, over almost 1,200 yards.
He has now tied the consecutive game streak of Lee Doremus, 23 catches with a catch. Here's Davis, stretch play, cuts it back up inside, into Iowa territory, into the 49, down to the 49-yard line, almost a 10-yard pickup for Anthony Davis.
Bread and butter play for the Badger offense. They run it off to the right tackle. The offensive line does a good job of getting up to the linebackers and getting big on big, they call it. It's a Bob block that stands for big on big. You're going to see this offensive line get some movement. Anthony Davis makes a great cut, sees the big hole. That's something we've seen pretty often this season from those guys.
Davis, 32 carries, 101 tough yards last week against Michigan State. One to the outside. Evans with a cut inside the 30, down to about the 26-yard line. Nice pitch, good catch for Evans, coming back to grab the pigskin and then advancing it into the 26, we'll call it the 27-yard line.
Well, and this is a good throw by Brooks. He rolls out. Brooks didn't play last week because of the injury, and he throws off his left leg, which is that injured leg, or supposed to be injured leg. So it's good to see him throwing off that leg. But Lee, they go to him twice early so far.
Oh.
And there you see Benny Sapp.
Slippage. Yeah, Benny Sapp was a sap there.
But Bob Sanders, 33, is able to be there and clean it up for him.
Here comes a blitz from the outside. Davis trying to get to the other side. And it's going to be a loss of about 2 on the play. Bollinger started 6 games this year, now making 7, including all of the Badgers' wins. And when he started and not having to leave the game early, Wisconsin is 3 up and 1 down.
Well, he's their leader. He needs to be out there. You know, some people say maybe Al Johnson is. Well, he's definitely the leader in the offensive line. But Brooks Bollinger, he is the director of this offense. So when he's out in that huddle, everybody looks into his eyes when he's calling the play. It's a show of respect. They play a little bit better when he's out there.
2nd and a dozen. Bollinger goes up the field. He's got Evans. Evans still on his feet inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Lee Evans, yet yards after catch.
Well, and this is a fun matchup to watch because Benny Sapp has a tough matchup all day trying to guard Lee Evans. And you saw how quickly Iowa was able to get some guys over there to help him tackle. But I'll tell you what, it's the same kind of matchup that Scott Starks has all day.
3rd catch for number 3, matching the number on his back. He's got 47 receiving yards already.
Now that's 3 short patterns they've run to Lee. They're setting up a big play to him on the next series.
Here you see Wisconsin's proficiency in the red zone. Pretty good conversion rate. And very good conversion defense that time by Iowa. Grant Steen made the stop there out of Emmitsburg, Iowa. He's a former walk-on.
Well, this is an experienced front 7 for this Iowa defense, and this has been their strength over the last couple of years. You're not going to fool anybody on that play. It comes down to who's going to execute better. And Iowa won on that play.
There you see how stout the Hawkeye defense has been against the run.
They don't come easy.
Bollinger looks. He's got all sorts of time. And he gets thrown on his backside. Pretty good coverage. You can call that a coverage sack, if you will, because Bollinger had no one to throw to, and for the 2nd straight play, Steen makes the stop for the Hawkeye defense. It sets up a 3rd and 11.
Well, what's interesting to me on this play is you watch him roll out. He's not real anxious about putting his shoulder down here.
Well, but look at, Iowa's defense had him scoped out pretty good. He didn't have any running lanes there.
And he kind of just went down. So the nice thing about that play is he didn't have to take a big hit.
Bollinger looks, and in and out of the hands of Nick Davis.
Well, and that's a big play. That hit him right in the numbers. He catches the ball. All he has to do is fall into the end zone. But Iowa's playing good defense on him. He's got a safety covering pretty tight. Maybe he's hearing footsteps. We'll see it late in the picture. He's got it. I mean, Derek Pagel, he's only 6'1", 203. That's a big safety. He was going to lay a lick on Nick.
Noiser in to attempt the field goal, and it's up and it's good. So the Badgers on their first drive get 3. I would have liked to have had 6. And you know, you talked about playmakers, and when you've got a chance to make plays, you have to have your playmakers do just that. And unfortunately for Wisconsin that time, boy, you can't fault Bollinger. That ball was right where it had to be. It was low, easy for Davis to catch, and unfortunately just did not pull it off.
Well, we've seen Davis over the last few weeks come back to the old Nick Davis that we knew of a couple years ago. Started out the season pretty slow, but the last 3 games he's really picked up the pace. And you're exactly right when you say that's a play that they need. That's a big play that didn't look too difficult. He's just got to make the catch and fall into the end zone. But that's going to be the key, because the Badgers have given up big plays on defense. They have to limit that. And on offense, they have to be able to capitalize on them.
That's a good ball thrown there by Bollinger.
There's only one guy who can catch that ball, and he didn't do it. So and here's a better look at it.
I mean, it's low. It's right there in the old breadbasket. And he let the heel get away.
Yeah, that's a missed opportunity. Sure would have liked to have had, if you're this Wisconsin offense or Wisconsin team, you would have liked to have 6 or 7 points there instead of 3. We started off the game last week this way as well. Well, now you're giving the ball right back to the 2 big playmakers for Iowa, and Kahlil Hill and Chris Oliver.
If that name Hill sounds familiar, it should, because his dad is former NFL player J.D. Hill.
There's his season stats on kickoff returns. He's averaged over 28 yards.
Espinoza did a nice job on the last kickoff. A line drive shot. Now a couple of clouds have partially obstructed the sun. Shadows have softened a bit here at Camp Randall Stadium. Might make it easier for Hill to field. Let's see. It's going to be a high kick, angling towards the far sideline, and it goes out of bounds. And Iowa will start from the 35-yard line. So didn't take advantage of that.
No, and it's hard to say if they called for that, kick it to the corner, or what happened. But we've seen some ups and downs with the kicking game, at least the kickoff team this year for the Badgers. And that's an area of concern. You never want to give a team the ball on the 35-yard line coming out.
It has been almost a guessing game for Coach Alvarez, that they've almost used kickoff people by committee. Pitch back, and Wisconsin does a nice job of stringing it out. Betts made that's about a 4-yard play. He was going to lose about 2, and he was able to get about 2. So credit Betts for taking a loss and turning it into a small game.
Well, that play was obviously designed to it was a stretch play off the right tackle. He notices the penetration in Betts. He sees it, cuts back, avoids a tackle from Erasmus James, and he's able to get across the line of scrimmage for a 2-yard gain.
Kind of a disappointing senior season for Betts. He has just one 100-yard game this year and was held to 40 yards on 20 carries by Michigan's defense a week ago. They swing it outside, and that's going to be incomplete. Betts coming in has 10 catches, and McCann is still over.
We'll get a good look at this. The defensive line slants to the left.
That's a good play, because they had Schick out there, and he was about 3 strides behind Betts. Betts would have had some running room.
Yeah, you get him in the open field, he's going to make you pay for it.
So it's 3rd and 8.
Here's where you're going to get an opportunity to see if the Badgers are going to have any success at getting some pressure on the quarterback. That's been a big part of it. Earlier this season, the Badgers defensive line and linebackers were able to get to the quarterback. The last couple of weeks, they've had a tough time. Now, granted, they've had some injuries, but this is where they got to do it.
The play clock is at 0. Thank you. Well, I'm beginning to wonder what game the referees are at. The play clock was standing at 0 for about 2 seconds before we heard a whistle blow. So that's going to make it 3rd and a baker's dozen.
Delay game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down. Clock operator, please reset the game clock. 7:51.
Well, and as we're watching this first quarter go, the stands are starting to get a little bit more full. Because it's a border war, there's a lot of Iowa people here. The fans are cheering a little bit louder than they have in the last few weeks. If the Badger defense can knock Iowa's offense off the field right here, it's two good series in a row.
McCann scrambling, looking, throws it away. Good pressure. McCann had some happy feet back there, and they forced him out of the pocket, and he opted to throw the ball away. And so far, he has attempted 5 passes and has 0 completions. Make that 4 passes and has no completions. So,
well, you saw some good pressure on him. He had to scramble, and everybody was covered downfield. That's exactly the way the Badgers have to play.
Bradley is now in to punt for the Hawks. He hangs it up there, and whoa! That's going to be 15 yards there. Forget the old O around Nick Davis. That's a major mental mistake right there. 34-yard punt by Bradley. Well, I tell you what, that kind of makes a little bit makes up for what Nick Davis missed on the touchdown toss.
That's how Nick thought he was going to get hit on that missed touchdown catch. But Bob Sanders, 33.
Whoa! That's only 5 yards. Are you kidding me?
I mean, he laid a good lick on Nick Davis, and there you see Sanders.
Oh, that is just a travesty.
Well, he definitely broke the 2-yard cushion.
Oh, yeah, and he almost broke Nick's back.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, man, they got to huddle up here, sports fans.
The question is did he signal for the fair catch?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Bill Lemonnier is the referee.
Objection on the foul. A fair catch signal had been waved. That makes the penalty 15 yards. First down.
Yeah, you can clearly see the fair catch signal in that last replay, and you're going to see it again here. Bob Sanders, he is a true sophomore, but he's played a lot of snaps, and he's one of their leaders on defense and makes a big mistake here on special teams. Yeah, no holding back on that one.
All right, so Barry said, all right, okay, hey. Okay, we got it straight. That's all I care about. Kirk Ferentz not real happy about the reversal of fortune there.
Well, if he had the opportunity to see the replay, I think he'd agree with it. But they're always, coaches are always going to be politicking with the refs. Well, and you see the offensive line, the 5 offensive linemen for the Badgers. This is a young group. I mean, Al Johnson and Ben Johnson, the cousins, are the only 2 returning starters from last year. Otherwise, you got 3 new guys in there. And they've actually played pretty well this season, with the exception of a couple spots here and there throughout a couple of games. But, look at Anthony Davis. Now, he's an incredible back, but somebody's got to be doing the work for him up front.
Got it.
And there you see those 5 guys in your screen. And there's Davis.
Getting back to Sanders, he was singled out as the Bronco Nagurski National Defensive Player of the Week after he had 25 tackles, 14 solos, and the Hawks 42-28 win over Indiana back in October.
He's a linebacker, not a safety.
Yeah. All right, now we got a flag, and there might have been some movement there.
Well, it's either going to be a false start on Dan Benning, or it's going to be an offsides on Jared Kloss.
Looks like it's going to go against Wisconsin.
Prior to the snap, false start offense. 5 yards. First down.
So now you're starting off 1st and 15. So you got a 15-yard break as a result of the penalty.
Well, they reset the clock. They give it a couple extra seconds because that play should have never occurred. There you see the penalty so far. Badgers winning that battle, but this one doesn't help them.
Evans split to the near side. Davis, top of your screen. Stretch play. And Iowa does a nice job to bottle up Anthony Davis. They did a nice job last year against Michael Bennett. Held him under 100 yards.
Well, what you saw there is guys getting off their blocks and avoiding the offensive lineman. Number 67, you see him right on the other side of the field goal post there. Joseph Usselman just absolutely beat Jowers to the play. He was in the backfield, nowhere for Anthony Davis to go.
2nd and 17. Not exactly the way you want to do a 2nd down. Iowa shows blitz. Play fake. Bollinger looking. He's going to run. And it's going to be 3rd and about 12. The Hawkeyes got off to a 3-0 start this year. Had a very favorable schedule at the beginning. They didn't play exactly a veritable who's who in the top 10. Kent State, Miami of Ohio. Then they beat Penn State. And then since then, though, they've lost 3 of the last 4, including a 32-26 setback to Michigan last Saturday in Iowa City. They had the Wolverines down 20-7 at one point in that ball game, and
they let them back in the game. And they had it. Down in Iowa City, they had it.
Iowa needs to split their final 4 games to become bowl eligible for the first time since '97. Bollinger going home run. He's got Evans. He's got the catch. That doesn't get any better than that. That's a fingertip grab by number 3. That guy is unbelievable. He said, yeah, you can't stop me. You can only hope to contain me. His 4th reception already.
I'll tell you what, this kid continues to amaze me. I put an S on his chest because Brooks, first of all, throws a great ball. The offensive line gives him good protection. Lee stretches out and makes a fingertip catch. And as Benny Sapp, number 19, Iowa's cornerback, is one-on-one with him.
Yeah,
he's right there.
That ball was right there.
Yeah.
That ball was right there.
Perfect throw, perfect catch.
Man, oh, man.
And if
well, they're inside the red zone. Let's see if they get 6 this time to finish off this drive. Oh, look out. Davis inside the 10, down to about the 9-yard line. Anthony Davis. That play was designed to go to the right side, but he smartly took it back to the left side. There was no one there.
Well, and that's Anthony Davis maturing as he's playing. Here's this play. It starts off to the right. There's no hole. Well, let's go to the left. Cuts it all the way back. It's a good block from Manelli. Number 5 from Iowa, DJ Johnson.
Tackle
saves
saving
a touchdown.
touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. So Wisconsin's offense definitely has the momentum at this point. Lee Evans and Brooks hooking up 4 times early so far.
Davis has got 6 carries. Only 7 yards. He's lost a couple, obviously.
Well, it's been tough going so far.
That last reception to Evans was 34 yards. Evans, 4 catches, 81 yards.
Well, he only needs about 280 yards to
set the single season record in the Big Ten.
Correct. Now, we're early in this game, but if things go well for him, he could do it today.
He's got 9 touchdown catches. That ties the Badgers single season record set by Al Toon back in 1983 as they measure.
Well,
here's a nice down to gamble on if you want to. It's 2nd and short. You know, they haven't used it yet. I don't know if they want to expose Brooks to this. I mean, he's still probably not 100%. He's had a hip flexor, groin injury. But I don't know if you want to expose him to the quarterback draw, but it could work down here.
Well, I'd almost rather see a quarterback sneak, but to put Brooks out in the open and have him run a play. We've seen him run the ball early twice so far as he calls a timeout there.
You hate to see that because you had a long break because they measured, but whatever Iowa's defense did, he was not happy with.
Well, I think
with the play that was called.
I think it was more the personnel that they had out on the field. I don't think they had the right guys out there as far as the Badgers. He didn't even get to the line of scrimmage before he called the timeout.
There you see Jim Sorgi. He suffered a concussion last Saturday against Michigan State, and in the pregame warm-ups, he was the number 2 quarterback. So in the event that Brooks goes down, we might see Jim Sorgi. But hat off, a tip of the hat to Mr. Shabert, who did a fine job. Matt Shabert, a redshirt freshman out of Elgin, Illinois. He came in and threw 10 of 18 for 2 touchdowns, 177 yards. The first ever snap he had taken in a college game. And that's, you know, kudos for Jeff Horton, the quarterback coach at Wisconsin, because you got to get every kid ready because you don't know. You're 1 snap away from playing that day.
And boom, just like that, he's in. Never played before. 2nd pass attempt of his career, hooks up with Lee Evans for a long touchdown.
70-yard touchdown, 78 yards to be exact.
Not a bad way to start.
There you see Jeff Horton too. I mean,
when you see all 3, you got Sorgi, the number 2, you got Willie or Shabert. It's a toss-up who's 3 and 4, but all 3 of those quarterbacks hanging around their coach, getting the direction right there.
From 1994 to 2000, that was a 74-game Wisconsin never had a starting quarterback miss a game due to injury. And that's gone awry this year, obviously, and even last year, yeah.
Well, and that's because of the type of quarterback that Brooks is. He exposes himself to the big hits when he does scramble. And again, early, we haven't seen him take the big hits or put a big move on somebody to try and get the extra yards.
Oh, no.
Well, this is on Iowa.
Wow. Well, that's a good way to get a first down.
They'll take it any way they can get it. Joseph Usselman, number 67, their nose guard.
You put the whammy on him.
That's all right.
He's out of Arena, Wisconsin, too, by the way.
Well, I've driven through there a few times. If you blink, you miss it.
Offsides with contact, defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Usselman went to Rochester Community College, and he attended River Valley High School. He joined the Hawks as a walk-on after 2 years of junior college.
Well, here we'll get the first look at this Badgers offense on the goal line. See what kind of intensity and what kind of play they come out with here.
It's going to be Davis, and a lot of interference here. A lot of white and gold, and not much room for number 28 to try to squeeze his way through. Davis this year.
Well, and there you see number 54, a defensive lineman for Iowa, Aaron Kapman. You know, the rule of thumb on the goal line for defensive linemen is if you're getting moved back, drop to the ground and create a pile, and that's exactly what happened there. Yards are tough to come by right up the middle on the goal line.
No gain. Davis 6 rushing touchdowns. Bollinger has 3 rushing touchdowns himself. Play fake. Bollinger dumps it off, and that was deflected and intercepted. I believe, was it?
I think they called it incomplete, but I'll tell you what, the Badgers got away with one there because Joseph Kapman almost got us 2 times in a row here. Gets his big paw up there, swats it.
Well, he had Chad Coons. That's who Brooks was looking for.
Hey, he was wide open.
The ball was...
Well, and there you see Anthony Davis on the ground, number 28. He's responsible for Kapman, number 54 for Iowa. And
Kapman needed to make that play. Of course, not many defensive ends get a chance for an INT, but all right, here you go. 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. Wisconsin trying to get 6. They lead 3-zip. There was movement and touching right there against the Hawkeye defense. So that's going to move him half the distance to the goal line, but it's still 3rd and goal to go.
Well, and that's on 58, Scott Webb. Lined up between Al Johnson and Dan Benning, the left guard.
Kirk Ferentz, there you see him.
Contact, defense.
Man.
Half the distance to the goal.
You know, you got to credit Brooks Bollinger there on the cadence. I mean, that's just enough to bring those guys to create the contact.
You give them that hard count, and boom, right there. All it takes is a little extra volume in your voice as a quarterback to get those guys drawn off. And that's something that you can practice with your offensive linemen so they hold tight.
So it's 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. You run the option here. Naked boot. Hello. Touchdown, Bollinger. The old naked boot, and it caught the Hawkeyes asleep at the wheel.
Well, when we get a chance to see this replay, watch the fake that Brooks Bollinger gives to Anthony Davis. You're going to see him take the ball and put it on his right hip. He tucks it in there. The whole Iowa defense cannot see the ball at that point. All they see is Brooks' hand coming out of Davis's belly, and it looks just like he just gave him the ball. And Brooks rolls out untouched for 7, 6, hopefully 7.
Now it's 7. Last I checked, you still get 6 for a touchdown, right? Well, you got to do the point after.
I'm trying.
There you go. That's okay. Brooks Bollinger, his 4th rushing touchdown of the year. And there's a big old smile on Jeff Horton. It's nice to have your guy back in the saddle again.
And more importantly, he didn't get hit. You know, we've seen Brooks. He hasn't had to put any juke moves on anybody yet. Hasn't had to take any big hits. There he goes, totally untouched.
That's a nice sell job by number 5.
Yep, experience. And Anthony Davis just hovering over so they can't see the ball. That's a good call right there. That's a play we haven't seen from the Badgers on the goal line this year.
Well, quite honestly, when you don't have number 5 in there, that's not a play that's really going to be very effective for Jim Sorgi. Maybe a Matt Shavert who probably can run a little bit better than Jim Sorgi. Well, so that's kind of a play that you squeeze down your playbook because those guys aren't as capable of running that play as number 5 is.
Well, and there's a couple things that might happen to Sorgi on that play because he doesn't have as much experience as Brooks. Maybe his fake isn't as good, so maybe the sell's not as good. Also, he's not as fast as Brooks in the open field, so maybe he gets hit at the goal line and doesn't get in.
All right, spin the wheel, and where's this kickoff going to go from number 17, Adam Espinoza? As you see, 51 yards over 3 minutes. Going to be a short one, and about the 10-yard line, and getting to about the 25-yard line is number 8, C.J. Jones, averaging just about 17 yards per kickoff return.
Well, and the one thing the Badgers can do on the kickoff return team, if they're not going to kick the ball deep, kick it high to give your guys enough time to get down there and get an opportunity to get off a block and make a tackle, and that's what they did on that play.
Change of quarterbacks. Number 7, Brad Banks, who saw a little action last Saturday. He originally enrolled at Central Florida, then transferred to Hines Junior College. So the Hawks start from their own 25, 1st and 10. Whoa, man. That's pretty good coverage there by number 36, Mike Eccles. He was a part of Hill's jersey. That was a dangerous pass. A lot of mustard behind Banks' pass. He's 18 of 30. Now make it 19 of 31, 60% coming in.
Simple play for Banks, 3-step drop, and Eccles just a little late, but I'll tell you what, not much.
And 2nd and 5. That's the first completion of the game for the Hawk offense.
Well, and Banks coming in, this isn't because McCann's not playing well. This is something they do often.
Play fake. Banks, quarterback draw. Runs away from Bryant. Still on his feet. Across the 40. And knocked down to about the 43-yard line. Wendell Bryant was with about a hand of hauling him down. By the way, for Bryant, 2nd consecutive year, he's one of the 12 semifinalists for the Lombardi Award, presented annually to the best lineman. Bryant leads the Big Ten with 8 quarterback sacks, 2nd with 15 tackles for a loss.
Here you see why Banks is in the game. You saw 3 guys miss tackles. If that quarterback on this play is Kyle McCann, he's 6'5", 214. He's tackled by Wendell Bryant for a loss.
Yeah.
Brad Banks, 6'1", 185. He can motor. Made a couple guys miss, picked up the first.
Speed kills, and it killed Wendell Bryant there. Banks goes outside, and Hill, not a particularly well-thrown ball. Last week, the Badgers gave up 570 yards. And they lost Illinois. 2 weeks ago before that was 631 yards. And, of course, they gave over 500 yards to Michigan State.
Well, and the thing about the Michigan State game that kind of irks you if you're a Badger fan is they had the game in hand. And then the injury to Tyrell Dortch. He breaks his leg on Lee Evans' touchdown catch in the end zone. And it's like a different game from that point. You would think it would have worked the other way for the Badgers, but the momentum totally shifted.
Spartans had 7 plays of 30 or more yards, including 3 of 63 yards or more. Oh, up the gut. Still on his feet. Still on his feet is Betts, down to about the 37, 38-yard line.
Well, he trusted the hole. He trusted his offensive line. They got a big offensive line here, an experienced offensive line. The last couple of years they've been beat up, but this is really the first year they've had the opportunity to stay healthy. And there you see him make a good move on Michael Broussard. One guy who hasn't been mentioned this year, and that's because he's moved on to the NFL. Jason Doring was a huge part of this defense. He makes that tackle. Not that Michael Broussard isn't a good player, but he's not Jason Doring.
Not yet.
Right, he's got time.
Banks. Bryant did a nice job to stay home. Pretty good tackle that time of Bose on Hill. Getting back to what you said about the guys in the trenches for the Hawkeye offensive line. Center Bruce Nelson tackles Robert Gallery, David Porter, and guards Ed Steinbach and Alonzo Cunningham have played every offensive play in each of the last 3 games. And when you talk about continuity, and you know that all too well as a former offensive lineman yourself, you got to have that.
Yeah, as you play more with the guys next to you, especially in the offensive line, there's calls and things that you have to make in the early on part of your careers with guys. As you play and as you get more snaps under your belt, you don't even make those calls. It just becomes automatic, and that's what happens, and that's exactly what you want with a good offensive line.
Here's option, and the option does not work.
Jonathan Welsh, number 92, making a good tackle, stayed home.
He's about 216 pounds.
That's the other problem. You know, besides the injuries, now you have some guys coming in, and he looks like he's a little shaken up on that play. But now you have some guys who maybe aren't quite physically ready to get out there because they haven't had the extra winter in the weight room.
3rd and 6.
We
The
saw
Hawkeyes inside the 35 will spot it at the 34.
and the Hawkeyes are 0 for 2 on 3rd down.
Banks. Hold. That play's going to come back, and it's going to be incomplete. Badgers probably will decline the penalty.
Well, it depends on how strong of a leg their kicker has, but I'll tell you what, Erasmus James got hog-tied right in the middle of the field.
That's a move you see in the WWF.
Well, I'll tell you, you got these guys from Iowa. There's more farmers in Iowa than there are in Wisconsin.
Send all those correspondence letters to Jamie Vanderveld. Okay.
That's fine. That's fine.
The play.
Whoa, we waved it
4th
off.
down.
Oh, wow. Well, if we get a chance to see the replay, you're going to see Erasmus James get hog-tied, because there's not a better way to say it. But again, it brings up 4th down. Here it is. Wendell Bryant working at the bottom of the screen, puts a good move, and there's Erasmus. It could go either way by the looks of it there, but when it happened live, it
Well,
sort
I
of
was
looked
going
like
for it.
like a hold.
On the year, 4th down opportunities. Iowa is 3 of 6.
Well, here's what you got to watch for. You got to watch Brad Banks because of his running ability. Don't forget about him if you get some pressure on the quarterback.
Key plays, you got one right here in the 1st quarter. Banks, he throws it up. Incompleted pass. Bryson Thompson on the cover. It was Jeremy Allen, the fullback, who was one-on-one against Thompson, and Banks was not a well-thrown ball, but he had to throw it. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked probably.
Well, he took a hit from Nick Bryson. Nick Bryson put a good look at him. This is a good play from Iowa. Fake the pitch. A good job of Bryson Thompson. We've seen him get fooled in a couple weeks earlier. We saw him get fooled downfield by the fullback. This time he stays home, and he's right there, man on man.
Here is an odd thing. With 1:15 to go after the change of downs here. Oh, that's a nice shot on number 7 there by Nick Bryson. But Iowa calls a timeout. Now go figure that. Well, I think Kirk Ferentz wants to talk to referees. I think
that's what that timeout is for. It's not for his team. It's so he can express his opinion on that last call. Well, he may have a point because Bryson Thompson didn't have his head turned around. He's still running after Jeremy Allen, number 47, the fullback, and Allen's trying to come back to the ball. They end up running into each other. It's a toss-up.
Give Kirk Ferentz credit. I mean, he used the timeout, and better to use it in the 1st half. I've never seen too many ball games won in the 1st half, but he wanted to use the timeout to make a point to the referees. Now we'll see if the calls go Iowa's way or not. Wisconsin starts from their own 34-yard line. They have the ball, and more importantly, a 10-0 lead.
Well, Brooks needs to find another receiver other than Lee Evans.
Well, look for number 81. Martinelli had a career-high of 6 receptions, 72 yards. Bollinger, he's going to run it. Bollinger to about the 42-yard line, about an 8-yard gain for Brooks Bollinger.
And he escapes without a big hit. I mean, Brooks is out there. He wanted to play last week, and he had no business even being dressed up last week. But here you see him, and he's able to avoid the contact and the big hit. Because all it takes with the hip flexor and the groin injury that he had, all it takes is one big shot and have that leg planted in the ground, and it flares up again.
It's been a tale of 2 seasons for Iowa. Like we said, the fast start and what they've done in the recent weeks. Their defense didn't allow a 1st-half touchdown through the first 4 games. Ooh. Davis loss on that play, a loss of about 1.5 yards.
Well, Joseph Usselman, the nose guard, 67 from Marina, Wisconsin. This is a big game for him. We've called his name a few times, one for a penalty, but the other times it's all been good. And he gets some penetration, and Anthony Davis isn't able to cut it back far enough to get to the outside. Well, we're coming to the end of the 1st quarter here.
Wisconsin will let the final seconds expire, and 15 minutes are in the book. Wisconsin out in front of the Iowa.
Hi, I'm Dan Small. Join me for the 2nd annual Wild Bird, Wildlife, and Backyard Habitat Expo, November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at the Washington County Fairgrounds with expert seminars on birding, habitat, photography, and more. I'll be at the Outdoor Wisconsin Eagle Optics Eyes on Wildlife stage all weekend with hands-on demos of cameras, binoculars, and other gear. That's the Wild Bird, Wildlife, and Backyard Habitat Expo, November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at the Washington County Fairgrounds.
The sweetest sounds you'll ever hear are waiting to be heard on American Masters. The music of Richard Rodgers. From Rodgers and Hart
We'll have Manhattan
to Rodgers and Hammerstein.
When he gives me a lyric, I write music.
utterly captivating.
Irresistible, absolutely soaring melodies.
Meet Richard Rodgers, an American master.
Monday night at 8, here on Channel 36. This is Channel 36, WMVT, Milwaukee Public Television, a viewer-supported service of MATC.
Advanced out, Jamie Vandervelt. Second quarter, seconds away from starting. The Badgers put 10 on the board in the first quarter, and they lead the Hawks 10-zip. Trying to piece together another scoring drive here. 3rd and 4.
Brooks changing the play.
Yeah. Bollinger goes for the home run. He's got Charles. Whoa, boy, there was some major jostling going on there. Darren Charles, a true freshman.
Well, and he's got good coverage on him. DJ Johnson, number 5. He's 5'10", going up against the 6'4" Darren Charles.
All right, you
Brooks,
make the call here.
Brooks has plenty of time, throws a good ball, but Charles and Johnson get tied up a little bit, and it cuts into Darren Charles'
Johnson
speed.
kind of did a nice job to lean into Charles to push him away from that pass.
Use the sideline.
R.J. Morse, blocked. They just came, they sent everybody, and Morse has his first punt of the year blocked.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's a new long snapper in on this punt.
Well, normally the long snapper is Matt Katula.
Right. I think it was number 30, Matt
Myalik.
Myalik. He gets a high snap back there and throws everything off.
So those offensive linemen for you know. They never can trust him. Banks remains in at quarterback. Play fake. Nice pass, and there goes a shoe, but the receiver hangs on to the ball. That's the most important part. That catch made by number 8, C.J. Jones, coming in 22 catches.
Well, C.J. did a good job of coming back to the ball because Banks had some trouble. He also had some room to run if he wanted to tuck it under his arm and just go, but decided to hook up, pick up the first.
Here you see Camp Randall Stadium, again a sellout. The Badgers have struggled to win Big Ten games here at Camp Randall Stadium. They are 1-5 over the last half dozen. So forget that old saying, no place like home. Oh, big running room. Betts, a short bet inside the 25 down to about the 23-yard line. Ladell Betts. There was nobody home in the middle. That was a huge gash.
The Hawkeye offensive line, we talked about how experienced they are and how well they've been playing. Watch this. And Betts he doesn't even have to cut. He just runs straight. The offensive line for Iowa just pushes everybody out of the way. The other thing to watch is watch Michael Broussard, number 8. Come on up and make the hit. He sits back there and starts stutter stepping, and he ends up missing a tackle. Come on up and hit the guy.
1st and 10 from the 22-yard line of Wisconsin. Oh, did he get set? Well, we don't see any flags, so apparently the fullback did get set.
Well, Wendell Bryant caused all the motion over there. He was running a stunt. He was coming down, working towards the center. Well, everybody flinched a little bit there. But Allen, number 47, stopped in his tracks.
You know, if I'm Iowa, you're going to be prone right because you got big old David Porter. He's 6'7", 305. That is a big man. He plays 5 musical instruments. Did you know that?
I did not.
He's playing a tune right now. He's winning the battle. Here's Banks. Goes to the right side, swings it out there to Betts. Betts cuts it back and gets to the 10-yard line. Betts to the 10.
Well, Banks throws a perfect ball to Betts. Hits him right in the cookie basket. All he's got to do is run into the ball and catch it.
Robert Brooks, true freshman. He makes the stop.
Well, you talked about big David Porter, 6'7", 305. There's 2 other guys on this offensive line that are 6'7". I mean, they got the starting front court for the Iowa basketball team playing offensive line as well.
Yeah. Gallery 6'7", Steinbach 6'7". So it's, I don't know if it's 1st and goal or not. It looks like
10.
Banks. And that's a touchdown. What a catch. Taking the hit is Hill, and he is still down. A mandatory 8 count. Banks to Hill for the touch.
Well, Mike Eccles put a big lick on him. Hill's watching the ball. Just as he catches it and comes down, Mike Eccles says hello. Mike Eccles can hit. You're going to see a good one right here. Boom. Try and jar it loose. It's a clean hit. Hit him with the shoulder.
Wow.
But if they're going to score on you, you got to make them pay for it. And that's exactly what Eccles does
A DB
here.
dreams of hits like this.
Yeah. And not cheap shot either.
No.
He tucks his head to his right shoulder, hits him with his left.
That's a big injury if Hill.
Well, I think more than anything, I think he probably just got the wind knocked out of him.
Well, they're holding him very still.
He wants to come up. They pushed him back down a second ago. And another big receiver, 6'3". Now our 2 starting corners, and Mike Eccles and Scott Starks, are both 5'10". And we've had some problems. Well, more Scott Starks than Mike Eccles as of late, but they've had some problems when they go up against the bigger wide receivers. But that time, Hill's wide open in the end zone.
His 6th touchdown reception. Into attempt to point after is Nate Kading, 28 of 29 on the year. It's up and it's good, and the Hawks now trail 10-7.
Well, you knew it wasn't going to be easy. 10 points wasn't going to win you the game, but in the first quarter, the Badgers have the ball twice and score twice. They come on out and you can't get the momentum going in the early part of the second quarter. End up punting the ball, get it blocked. You have a new snapper in there, and Myalik. And you give Iowa the ball with good field position. A couple minutes later, it's a 3-point game.
Hill has now caught at least 1 pass in 31 straight games. Our next telecast and our final telecast in the fall of 2001. Saturday, November 17th, the Maize and Blue of Lloyd Carr, the Wolverines, come to the camp. And you can see it all 10 p.m. on your local Wisconsin public television outlet.
And depending on the outcome of the game today, both of these teams have their backs against the wall. If they got to win to get into a bowl game. Whoever loses today is out of bowl contention for the rest of the year.
No, Iowa's not. They have to win 2 of their last 4. Trust me.
All right. There you see the scoring play. 59 yards in 5 plays. 10 of them.
See, Iowa can go 6-5 and get a bowl bid. They've played 7. They've got 4 left. Okay, let me do the Ole Miss math. Half of 4 would be 2. That'd be 6 and 5. They could get.
I don't have the numbers in front of me.
The reason why Wisconsin needs to get to 7 is because they played 7 or 12
they're playing
games.
12 games. They need to have a winning record.
Right. Okay, you all right with that now?
Thank you.
No problem. I mean, you were working feverishly with your abacus over here trying to get those beads, and I just saw smoke from those beads moving like that.
Well, it broke.
Well, they're all over the floor. Be careful when you get up from your chair. You could slip, you know. You don't have a lot of room in this booth.
Well, we saw Nick Davis on the first series for the Badgers drop a ball that was almost assured to be a touchdown catch. This is going to be the first time he's going to get a chance to touch the ball since then. And this is coming on a kickoff return. 70 returns, 23-yard average.
Iowa has been burned once this year by good old Herb Haygood of Michigan State. That was the first kickoff return for a touchdown given up by an Iowa team since 1976 when a guy by the name of Ira Matthews, the Wisconsin Badgers. Holy smokes.
He almost got 3 points.
Kading got it all.
He came up about 2 feet short of the crossbar on the field goal post.
Man.
It's a good leg.
Lively leg. So the Badgers and their offense start from their own 20-yard line under the direction of Brooks Bollinger. And we talked about how proficient Lee Evans has been, and Martinelli's had a very fine senior year. 24 catches. Evans, he's going deep. He's got him. Evans down to the 41-yard line. Again, one-on-one coverage. He's already gone over the 100-yard mark in reception yards.
You know, you got to feel bad for Benny Sapp here, but watch the protection Brooks has.
Why do you have to feel bad?
Because he is right there again in plastic man. Lee Evans just stretches for it and gets it. I mean, Benny Sapp, 19, is a backpack. I mean, he's strapped all over his back, and it's clean coverage, and Lee Evans just makes a great play on the ball.
In games in which Evans has at least 100 receiving yards this year, the Badgers are 1 and 5. I'd like to see that trend reversed here.
Well, let's get a stat on if he has 200. Because he's off to that kind of game already.
He's got 121 receiving yards on 5 catches. That's not a bad average. He's going to break. You mentioned Larry Mialik, his son Matt. But Larry Mialik has the school record for the yards per catch. And Evans is a smidge behind that.
He's a junior, man.
This
kid, if he doesn't go to the pros, and he's saying he's not, this kid, he's a junior with a lot of football left here.
Well, his average is 21-2. Mialik set the mark in 1970, 21-3. Bollinger, play fake. He's got all sorts of interference up in front of him, and I don't know if he went down on his own or was forced down, but it was pretty good coverage in the back end by Iowa's secondary.
Well, number 94, defensive end for Iowa. There you see him in the picture.
Colin Cole.
Colin Cole ends up falling on top of Brooks.
That's a lot to be falling on.
6'2", 300 pounds. That's the kind of defensive lineman you want.
He was a true freshman to play in the '99 season. He didn't play Little League football because he was too big.
Poor guy.
Kid, you can't play because you're too big. 3rd and 8 now for the Wisconsin offense. Bollinger, good protection, caught. Nick Davis down to the 21-yard line for Nick the Quick.
Well, that's a good catch. A ball that's thrown low. Brooks does a good job of finding Davis, but throws a low ball. Davis has to go down low to gather this one up. But good protection, plenty of time. There's a nice opening in the middle of the field for Davis to fit into.
Another 3rd down conversion. So far, Wisconsin on 3rd. They're 4 of 6. So they're continuing the proficiency that they had last Saturday at 63% versus Michigan State. Just outside the red zone, Bollinger, the boot, goes to Chad Coons. I'm not sure he was touched down, and he stayed on his feet to the 15-yard line. Coons, and he hasn't caught too many. That's his 3rd catch of the year. Take a licking, but keep on ticking, number 41.
Well, being that I'm a former offensive lineman, I love my fullbacks and I love my tight ends because they never get the ball. Look at this lick.
Wow, that's great balance. That's a heck of a hit by Sanders.
Sanders laid him out. Sent him back. Watch this. Puts him up in the air, sends him back. Coons puts his hands down, keeps his feet, and picks up 6.
That's very good awareness by number 42. 41 also to stand his feet.
That's a tough play.
Davis jitterbugs down to about the 12, maybe even inside that to the 11-yard line. They're going to have to call for a measurement here.
We haven't seen Chad Coons get the ball a lot. Last year we saw him get it on some quick hitting plays, some traps and things like that. But this year it's been part of the game plan. But he sure, you know, a play like we just saw, it makes you want to give him the ball again.
Now as they stretch the chains out.
Anthony Davis, 18 yards on 10 rushes. 10 of those coming on 1 carry.
First down.
Yards are coming tough.
So Wisconsin can get a first down without having to get a touchdown. Here you see each head coach trying to yell their team on. One to make a play on the defensive end, one to make a play on the offensive end.
Well, and Barry and Coach Ferentz.
I knew you were going to say that.
We were talking before the game, and you put something in my head, and I can't get it out now. Anyway, regardless, in 1986, they both coached at Iowa for 1 year. As Barry was leaving, and he was coming
Bollinger, and he throws it away. He was, look, Lee Evans at the far side of the end zone is like, hello, hi, remember me?
Well, it's almost like Brooks thought Lee was going to be on the other side of the field.
The Badgers are 4-5 versus Iowa during Barry's tenure here as head coach, including 2-2 in games right here in the old capital city. In the last 4 meetings between these two, Iowa has averaged just 5 points per game.
Well, they're getting a couple guys into the game late here.
They got a lot of time on the play clock.
3 wides for the Badgers.
David, stretch play. And that's a solid hit by number 33, Sanders.
Yeah, I think as the game goes on, Anthony Davis is going to find out that Sanders is just coming up to hit you in the mouth. He's not going to take your juke moves. And all he does on this play is step up and make a touchdown saving tackle again.
They list him at 5'8", 194.
Well, they put some big shoulder pads on him. You can make him look bigger, but it doesn't matter. He's just a tough kid.
Wisconsin will call a timeout. That's their second this half. It's 3rd and 5 from the 6-yard line, and probably a good call here. You know, we want to try to make sure that whatever play you call, you go through your gamut of options and see what tendency the Hawkeye defense has and see what you can do to exploit that.
Well, and Iowa's defense seems to be toughening up a little bit. The yards, obviously, the yards up front. Iowa hasn't had a team put up 100 yards rushing on them in 3 games.
Iowa has recovered 7 fumbles. They've intercepted 6 passes through their first 7.
Last week versus Michigan, they played in Iowa City. Michigan rushed the ball 36 times.
Only had 63 yards.
That's
Michigan now. You know, I mean, here's a team that loves to keep the ball on the ground.
Well, there you see a nice stat for the Badgers. 7-1 in November at camp over the past 5 years.
Well, you know, following up, and I said this earlier in regards to Michael Bennett a year ago. Michael Bennett had 29 carries, only 81 yards, but they couldn't contain Bollinger, who was 18 of 26 for a career best 292 yards. And speaking of career best, the Badgers' 368 passing yards were the most since their school record of 423 against Minnesota in 1993, and you were there.
Yes, I was.
And unfortunately, that was the only loss of the season that year, huh?
I'll tell you what, if we don't lose that game, we don't come back and beat Michigan the next week.
I would agree wholeheartedly.
So a couple bumps in the road can make you a better team.
That was a wild game, though. Seems like every game up with the Metrodome is a wild game.
It doesn't matter what kind of year either team is having.
Davis split to the far side. Darren Charles, Lee Evans to the near side. 3rd and 5 from the spread. Bollinger. Oh, that was not a well-thrown ball. Maybe he was intentionally throwing that away because there's pretty good coverage on Evans.
Well, and he took a pretty good shot there, too, as Brooks Bollinger did. Bob Sanders, 33, laid a lick on him from the blind side. Sanders is all over the field. You can see why he got some all-conference nominations last year and ended up honorable mention.
So Neuser in to attempt, we'll call it a 23-yard field goal try. Kick is up, and it's good. Neuser, 2 of 2, and the Badgers extend their lead to 13-7.
Well, and on field goals, there's a new snapper today as well. It's the same snapper because we lose Katula, who handles all the snapping for the Badgers. Now Mayalik's in there, and he's handling the field goals. That changes things up for your interior lineman blocking as well on those. Those guards have to come down a little bit harder and stop that penetration. But a good kick and 3 points. Another good long drive for the Badgers. They've had 3 out of 4 like that.
We're on the 3rd day of November, and there's not a lot of ticks left in the Wisconsin schedule. In fact, there's 2. They're off for a Saturday next week, and then they close things out at Minnesota on the 24th of November, Thanksgiving weekend.
Well, the way they're playing, and I shouldn't even say that, I should say that the way this Badger team is kind of beat up, this bye week couldn't come at a better time next week. If they can win this game today and go into a bye week with some momentum, 2 weeks to prepare for Michigan here at home, they have a chance.
A 74-yard drive covering 10 plays, just about 4 minutes, capped off by the 23-yard field goal by Mr. Neuser. And guess what? Spinoza's been sent back to the bullpen, and Neuser is out to, I'm telling you, you're going to be down there next.
Musical kickers.
Let's see what Neuser does. He's kicking into the wind. Line drive shot. And it's going to be Jones. And Jones to about the 32-yard line. Well, at least it was inbounds. Always accentuate the positives.
And you keep them 5 yards short of where they would have got it if you would have kicked it out.
Now, once again, your math is a little bit off.
3 yards.
Okay.
All right.
3 yards, 3 points. That's a big difference there.
Yeah, please. I'm all about guesstimating.
1st and 10 for the Hawks. And Banks remains in at quarterback. They've certainly moved the ball a lot better with him back there as opposed to Kyle McCann. And it's caught by the tight end, Dallas Clark.
And he hurt his knee. Scott Starks comes up and puts a good hit on Dallas Clark.
He got up, but he's going off.
Yeah, first-year tight end who's playing extremely well. Last year he was a linebacker.
He's a former walk-on. His older brother Derek played linebacker at Iowa State during his college career.
Good throw, good catch. It's a good play. Starks comes up and puts his shoulder pad right on his knee. And hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully he just stretched it out a little bit.
Well, the backup tight end for Iowa is Eric Jensen. He has yet to catch a ball this year.
There you see it.
Good hit by Starks.
Starks is not afraid to come up and slap you in the mouth. We've seen him chase down a couple guys this year on touchdown saving tackles. He stepped up, made some big hits.
Well, there you see Clark is still being attended to. He looks like he is in a full amount of pain.
Yeah.
Banks. Oh, they bit all the way for a touchdown. Nice play fake.
Well, there you see Joey Bozay, but that's not his fault. Mike Eccles is matched up one-on-one.
Well, he bit on the play fake.
Well, they've been throwing the short pattern to the sideline so much. They just set it up perfectly in the last couple series, and Eccles, thinking he's going to get away with one, steps right up.
Well, he bit. Oh.
Yeah.
And all Hill had to do was just make sure he didn't trip.
Just catch and run. They made it look easy on that play.
The point after is good, and just like that, Iowa turns a 13-7 deficit into a 14-13 lead.
Well, football games are a lot like a chess match. You got to kind of you got to react to your opponent. You got to be offensive. And Iowa's come in and put Banks in at quarterback. This has changed everything for him. Started out with McCann, a drop back passer, and the Badgers are able to get some pressure on him. He's not even able to complete a pass. They bring Banks in. 2 out of 3 series, they come up with touchdowns. You know, they can't get to him. The Badgers defensive line is having trouble getting to him because Banks has the ability to scramble and avoid tackles. And there you see it. He makes the
second touchdown catch of the day for Hill. He's got both touchdowns. That stands to reason. He's now got, on the season, he's got 7 TDs. And Barry Alvarez has seen his defense get gashed here. 14 points in a couple of minutes.
Well, you got to see how they bounce back now.
Well, that's been a problem. You know, they've been burned, and they have not been able to respond to adversity. They've got some more adversity.
Your stat earlier, I think, was 7 plays over 30 yards last week.
Yeah.
Big plays kill you. And right there, 54-yard touchdown pass. Second play of the series.
Credit Banks. I mean, he sold the play on the little stop and go, and that froze Eccles, and that's all you need.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, when those guys are as fast as they are, Eccles is a sub 4.3 guy. He runs a 4.240. Hill, he's got all the speed in the world as well. And you get those guys, you get them stopped, it takes a couple steps for them to build their speed back up, and that's all you need.
Well, on the last kickoff by Kading, he buried the ball. Nick Davis didn't even have a chance to field it. That ball sailed completely out of the end zone.
Well, there you see the defense trying to regather. Coach Kaz, defense coordinator, Kevin Cosgrove, is right in the middle. They got to break the trend of giving up big plays. They got to make Iowa
earn it.
Yeah, exactly. If they're gonna beat you or gonna score on you, it's got to be a long, drawn-out series. You got to make them pay for it.
Well, that one's not going to be returned either. Good job by Kading, maximizing the wind at his back. And the Badgers start from their own 20-yard line.
Well, it's been a tale of 2 quarters here. Badgers dominating the first. Iowa's come out and played extremely well in the second.
The difference has been the quarterback position.
Yep, exactly. Brad Banks has come in and sparked the offense.
The Badgers operate from the spread. There's a shovel pass to Nelly. And I'll tell you, he keeps on turning those feet. Nelly has yet another catch. Now get this. He's really made a difference in the offense this year, given some legitimacy to the tight end position. Through 9 games, Nelly, 24 receptions for 230 yards. Last year, by comparison, the Badgers had 3 tight ends, Nelly, John Sigmund, and Dave Retzlaff. They combined for 29 catches, 233 yards. In 99, and Nelly, Sigmund, and Retzlaff combined for 17 catches. So you can see what Nelly has done.
Well, and he's a big, strong, physical tight end, too. You get him the ball, and he doesn't lose it, and he gets you the hard yards. You saw him get a couple yards after contact there. He's got 3 or 4 Hawkeyes on his back dragging him. So he's kind of like your security blanket if you're Brooks Bollinger.
Iowa uses a timeout. They've got one. The Badgers have one. 7:14 to go in the second quarter. Wisconsin trails Iowa 14-13. Prior to today, here's how the teams stack up. Michigan on top of the heap, and in fact, in the BCS standings, Michigan is 4th best in the country. There are a lot of pivotal games in the Big Ten today. Michigan and Michigan State, and then Illinois and Purdue. Also locking horns. Wisconsin trying to get back to the 500 mark. That's where they were in the Big Ten a year ago.
one there, you see Anelli. He's 6'5", 255 pounds. He's a senior and he's a captain. Having his best year by far.
Yeah, as I said, a career high of 6 catches and 72 yards last Saturday versus the Spartans. 2nd and 2. Davis sees the hole. Oh, late flag. That's going to come back.
Yeah, I think it's going to go forward even. I
Really?
think it's going to be a face mask on the Hawks.
Okay. They do it in the offensive line.
Well, if you watch it, if we get a chance to see the replay, you're going to see Anthony Davis' head spin back towards the hole. Although Iowa is clapping.
Going to be offsetting penalties.
Here, we'll get another look at it here. Right there.
No doubt about that.
Oh, and that's when they reach for their flags, and 2 guys saw it, so that's what they're going to call here. Spins them around.
Inadvertent face mask.
5 yards.
Personal foul. 15-yard face
wow.
mask. Under this defense.
Whoa.
15 yards tacked on to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Well, okay. Sorry, Anthony. I'm sure it was more painful than it looked.
Well, that's one of those. There's no textbook definition for a 15-yarder or a 5-yarder on a face mask, but when you get a running back running full speed and his whole body spins because you got him by his face mask, it's not too hard to call that 15-yarder.
So the Badgers move into Iowa territory. They spotted at the 48-yard line under 7 minutes in the 2nd quarter. Wisconsin trying to regain the lead. Bollinger going to scramble, gets inside the 40 and goes out of bounds. Has an about 11-yard pickup. Brooks Bollinger.
And he doesn't get hit.
He's got 6 carries for 23 yards. Davis, 13 carries, 36 yards. Bollinger did the smart thing there. He took what the defense gave him. They gave him a running lane, and he filled it.
There it is. He sees the marker. He takes 1 step past it and hops out of bounds right before the hit.
Roger Meyer chasing him out of bounds out of Rock Rapids, Iowa. 3-time academic All Big Ten selection. Davis. Oh, look out. Inside the 30. Takes 2 Hawks head on. They drive him back, but Davis peels off about a 10-yard pickup.
Well, here's his mentality. He's got the first down whether he knows it or not.
He's hurt.
But you got number 33, Bob Sanders, coming up. Their strong safety putting a lick on him. It's 2 guys that love to play and love to hit. And Sanders has help. Boom. Drove him back, but he picks up the first.
That's Big Ten football right there, my friend.
Those are tough yards. He paid for those 12 yards.
Jerome Pettis checks in to replace Davis. Let's hope that Anthony is okay. A vital part of the Wisconsin offense. Back-to-back first downs. Pettis, his first carry, inside the 15, inside the 10, down inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Jerome Pettis, no drop-off there between 28 and 20.
Well, here's what you got. You got Lee Evans, one of the best receivers, if not the best in the country, and Nick Davis, an experienced senior, out wide, blocking downfield for your running back. And we're going to get a chance to see it right here. Davis gets his guy down. Lee Evans blocking downfield but not holding. Smart enough to let off. Jerome Pettis picks up a big gain and gets the ball inside the 5-yard line.
Badgers go with their double tight end. Bob Doherty, a true freshman, checking into the lineup. Evans split to the far side. 1st and goal from the 4. Pettis sees the crease. Touchdown! Jerome Pettis. His 2nd touchdown of the fall of the Badgers. Regain the edge.
And he's untouched until he's in the end zone. And 42 from Iowa. Grant Steen gets his foot. And Jerron ends up doing a somersault, but he was untouched. A good job of blocking up front. Follows his main blocker. And Coons right there springs a big block for him and basically untouched for 6. And I repaired my abacus. Good job by the offensive line.
No question. The point after is good, and the Badgers, just like that, regain the edge at 20 to 14. You know, the way things are going, you wonder if this is going to be one of those games the team that has the ball last has a chance to win.
If it's like that, those are the games you hope for. You know, it's a tough physical game. It's always going to be when you're playing Iowa. Iowa and Wisconsin, the border battle comes down to the wire. It's 2014 right now with a little less than 6 minutes to go in the half. And Wendell Bryant's down on the sidelines, pumping up the defense right now, getting them ready for this next series. He knows they can't have any more of those big plays. They gave up 7 last week and given up a couple today. You know, when you score a touchdown on touch like that, they make it look easy.
You know, last Saturday against Michigan's offense, they totaled just 111 points, 111 yards, I should say, in the first half, and no points in the first half. That's the number 4 rated team in the country, and that's what Iowa's defense did to them. But you look on the board here, and the Badgers have 20 points on the board. So obviously, as you said, kudos to the offensive line.
Yeah, and there you see the drive, 6 plays, 80 yards, just over 2 minutes. Scoring quick.
All right, it's back to Espinoza. From the 7-yard line. It's Jones. And there is a late flag. It might be an illegal block in the back. Mark Downing was down on the field and didn't make the tackle, but I don't know if he was the guy.
Well, a name I don't believe we've called all year is Devin Hollins, number 10. He ends up taking on a couple blockers. I think that's where you're going to throw the flag. But he ends up tripping up the return man. Penalties so far. Iowa has 6 for 48 yards.
Illegal block in the back.
Thank you.
Return.
It's Chris Kahlil.
First down.
You got to go to the dress list.
I got to go up one more.
Well, you got to go to the dress list.
Hey, when you got multiple numbers out there, we got 2 number 10s. Ooh, little leg whip from Catalano.
Boy, Iowa's shooting themselves in the foot here. Now they start from their own 11-yard line. Banks again remains in at quarterback. He's done a nice job.
He's been their man so far. He's the one that's been able to spring some big plays for him.
Let's see if the Badger defense can come up with a takeaway. Banks, quarterback draw. That hole was there and it closed in a hurry, but Banks is quick of foot. Nice execution. He moves the ball well back there.
Well, we saw Brooks Bollinger fake a nice handoff to Anthony Davis in the first quarter for a touchdown. Banks has a fake on this play.
Yeah.
Erasmus James is playing right defensive end. He runs all the way across the whole line, chasing down the running back because of the fake. Banks just waits for him to clear the line of scrimmage and goes.
5-yard pickup. Banks flushed, runs by Bryant, stays on his feet, and depending on the spot, I think he's going to be short by about a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
He's fun to watch, regardless if you're a Badger fan or an Iowa fan. He makes a couple guys miss. Wendell Bryant's trying to backtrack and get a sack.
The Hawks 0 of 3 on 3rd down. You see he runs right by Wendell. Oh,
yeah.
You know, that's 185 pounds versus Wendell Bryant, who goes at about 3 bills.
Well, watch this play. Ben Herbert, 42. Don't leave your feet. Just get your arms up. If he doesn't leave his feet, and I think he had to because Erasmus James ended up coming up, tripping him up. But he's just trying to jump over him. If he's able to keep his feet cut back in, he might be able to get a hand on him.
So it's 3rd and less than a yard.
And there you see Ben. He's got the toughest job of anybody out there, playing at 240 pounds. He's playing nose guard.
Well, I got to believe we might see a QB sneak here. I'm going to guess the old quarterback sneak.
Don't let him roll out.
Well,
it's going to depend on the mark. I mean, it's close.
As they peel apart the scrum, we'll let the referees place it, spot it, and then remeasure.
They're giving it to him.
Wow, that's a favorable spot.
Well, there you see James. He's running. He works everything off his speed, and he was chasing down Betts before.
So it's 1st and 10. Iowa now has the ball at their own 21-yard line, under 4.5 minutes in the second quarter. Betts cuts it back, still on his feet. Fumble recovered by Bryant. Wendell Bryant recovers the fumble. Betts was stripped. He didn't have the bacon, and you can't run without the bacon.
Well, the Badgers are getting away with one here because Nick Bryson, he's a Mike backer for the Badgers defense, tries to run underneath the block and gets picked off. He's number 45. You're going to see it right there. Takes the inside route, and Erasmus James swats the ball out of there. Wendell Bryant, being the smart player he is, just falls instead of tries to pick it up. Fall, get the ball, give it to your offense, and let them do what they do best. It's a good cut, good run. The offensive line does a good job of blocking. You know, it happens.
That was Erasmus James who forced the fumble. Davis back in. That's good to see. Picks up about 4.
There's some tough yards going out there. These two Big Ten front sevens are playing some tough football. Colin Cole, number 94, 6'2", 300 pounds, makes a tackle there.
Well, look at Sanders. Get that glove out of here. I don't need that glove. This is Big Ten, man.
He plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's a good player, tough player. Brings some fear in that secondary.
Davis. You can't run where there's no hole.
Well, he's trying to cut it all the way back. The play was designed to go to the left side of the offensive line. Nothing there. He's trying to cut it back to the right, and Martinelli isn't able to move his defensive end out of the way. Becomes a big pile. There's the play. Cuts it all the way back. Martinelli doesn't have any movement upfield on his defensive end. There's nowhere to go.
Cole at 300 pounds filled that hole. He can fill a lot of holes at 3 bills. 3rd and 5 as we hit the 3-minute mark of quarter number 2.
Badgers are 4 for 7 on 3rd down so far.
Bollinger checks off. He throws it up, and it's a touchdown. Darren Charles. What a nice grab by the true freshman. That's a heck of a throw, and Charles did a great job to come back and get it.
Well, that's a great play because 25 for Iowa, Derek Pagel, has good coverage on him. He just didn't turn around and look for the ball. This is something they should be utilizing all the time because Darren Charles is a big, strong receiver. 6'4", just gets up there and gets his big paws on it, comes down in the end zone. Good call.
I've always said it. You can't teach 6'5", you know?
No.
The point after, execution is good, and the Badgers extend their lead to 27-14. A very big 3rd down conversion.
A huge 3rd down conversion. And now, another thing you've done, not only on the field, but as we're watching this game and listening to this crowd, it just got a little bit louder in here. 27-14.
And there's 2 high school teammates. The tight end, Doherty. Charles played at the same high school, true freshman. That's the future of this program. And if Lee Evans comes back and this young man gets another year behind him and in the weight room, look out. That's a lethal combination there.
The whole offensive line is back. Anthony Davis is back. Jerron Pettis is back. We're replacing Coons at the end of the year. All your quarterbacks are back. This offense hasn't been the problem as of late. They've been playing well, and they're young, and they're fun to watch. It's just a smart play. You got a 6'4" guy and a guy who's actually 6'1" and not an undersized defensive back, but Darren Charles just makes a great adjustment and goes up and gets it.
Not a bad throw by Bollinger. Now, here's a guy that likes to run with the pill, but he throws it up there. Okay, I'm going to let the big guy go up and get it.
Let him earn his free ride.
There you go.
There you go. Let him earn that scholarship. Go up and get that ball.
Bollinger, another touchdown toss. Iowa's Jones at about the 4-yard line, and he advances to about the 31-yard line.
Well, and Espinosa's in on the tackle there.
Bollinger, 9 of 14 passes, 170 yards for 1 touchdown. Bollinger running 6 for 23. Davis 16 for 53, and then Jerome Pettis 2 for 25. So this Iowa defense, which had been very stingy against the run, has been gashed. B.J. Tucker checks in, and he replaces Broussard.
And he's out here all by himself, one-on-one.
Betts the lone set back, and McCann is back in at quarterback. Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we saw in the first quarter he came in. He was 0 for 5 throwing the ball. The offense wasn't moving at all. They bring Banks in, and he puts some points on the board, gets the offense moving, opens things up. You know, unless this was a planned thing. Maybe thinking with coming up on 2 minutes left to go in the half, you got to get your better 2-minute quarterback in there, but I don't know.
McCann, boy, they had a chance to sack him and he throws it away.
Jason Schick, 21.
Yeah, he had a chance to wrap him up. And McCann, he's a bigger quarterback than Banks. McCann 6'5", 214, and he simply ran away from Schick.
Yeah. He steps up in the pocket. Schick's untouched. Just step up. You get that free shot on that quarterback, you put your head down because you want to make it a good lick. Well, sometimes you forget to wrap up.
All right, 3rd and 7. Iowa 1 of 4 today.
And they got 4 wides in the game right now.
From the spread formation. Let's see if the Badgers can get some pressure on McCann. Goes upfield, caught. Hill, and he was being covered by Bryson. So credit Iowa's offense for going to Hill, who was being guarded by a linebacker.
They run a gotcha play here on the Badger defense. There's not enough defensive backs in the game for the Badgers. Bryson's got to come all the way from his middle backer spot, come on out and cover Hill. If I'm Iowa, I'm taking that matchup 7 days a week.
So Iowa moves the ball into Wisconsin territory, trying to get on the board before the end of the first half. Wisconsin comes with a blitz. Nice catch. Eccles on the tackle, but going back to make the catch was number 1, Tim Dodge. Dodge has played both ways for Iowa. He's played defense and he's played offense. He had 9 starts last year as a defensive back, and the Hawkeyes going to their hurry-up offense. 1:29 and counting. It's 2nd and 3. McCann, again with lots of time, coming back for the catch is number 8, C.J. Jones.
Well, Wendell Bryant's coming to the sidelines. He's been rushing pretty hard. Got to get some fresh meat in there.
He looks winded.
Yeah. He's played the whole first half so far.
Looks like he might be hurt. First and 10. Iowa at the 37 of Wisconsin. They've not been able to get a lot of pressure on McCann. He goes home run. That's overthrown. Coverage that time being applied by Mike Eccles against Dodge.
Ben, here's the matchup I don't like. Again, they get Kahlil Hill, number 3 for Iowa, matched up on Grayson, right down the middle of the field. Now in that play, Boze's helping him out a little bit, but
well, fortunately, McCann was looking at one player. You know,
it's a good thing he didn't look over to the other side of the field. Nothing against Nick Bryson, but he doesn't have the speed to cover him.
2nd and 10 following the incompletion. They dump it out to the fullback, Allen. Allen has the first down as he gets out of bounds.
Avoids a tackle. Bryson Thompson's covering him. Not quite quick enough to get over to the flat in time. And Allen breaks a couple tackles and picks up a tough first down. Gets out of bounds as well.
This guy's Allen's a heck of a track star in the Big Ten. He won titles in the discus and shot in the spring of 2001. Missed the Badger game a year ago with an injury.
Well, what was that about having taken Banks out?
What do I know?
McCann's done a good job coming in after sitting for a few.
Here comes the blitz. And Iowa catches the Badgers in a blitz, and Dodge stays on his feet. Iowa has 1 timeout remaining, so they have to be very judicious as to where they choose to use it if they have to.
Coming up on 50 seconds left in the half. Officials are calling for a timeout here. They're going to measure this one.
Inside the 20-yard line, there you see Coach Ferentz. He's motioning to Kyle McCann, his quarterback, to come on over there. McCann had a problem getting into a lather early on, but he's now 4 of 10 for 41 yards.
Well, this is huge. If you're the Badgers and you're on defense right now, which they are, and you can stop Iowa from scoring before halftime, you also come out of halftime with the ball and give it to your offense, who's put 27 points up in the first half of football here.
The last thing you want to do is let Iowa get 6 here, and all of a sudden you take a 13-point deficit and it shrinks.
Yeah, get 6, get some momentum. You know, you want them going into halftime thinking bad thoughts about themselves. They aren't going to do that if they get a touchdown or a field goal here.
Right now, first and 10.
Right now, you're just hoping to keep them out of the end zone.
Yeah. McCann calls his own number. Fumble, and Wisconsin has it. Unbelievable! Unbelievable! McCann coughed it up. Boy, oh boy, that's a huge swing. Just a huge swing.
If you're McCann, you wrap that ball up with 2 hands. Bryson Thompson wraps him up and knocks it out. McCann, a big 6'5" quarterback, running the ball, maybe not the best runner, but cover that ball up. Not used to getting hit out in the open like that. Cover the ball up and secure it. That's a mental mistake more than a physical mistake.
You know, okay, McCann got him down to inside the 5-yard line. I still think you bring in Banks if you're going to run that play.
They did everything right on that series except cover up the ball. And Iowa calls their final timeout here as the Badgers down it. So we're going to have to get
that is a huge swing for the Wisconsin team. More importantly, for the Badger defense.
Well, and as I was talking about it just before it happened, now Iowa has to go into the locker room thinking, you know, they don't have the momentum. They just moved the ball, came away with nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, they really did dominate that drive until McCann drops the ball.
Well, and he had some help.
Well, yeah, there are a few Badgers involved on that play, but Bryson Thompson missed a tackle earlier on the fullback. Allen comes up with a big play to stop him there.
So many times, Jamie, we've seen the Wisconsin offense or the Wisconsin defense give up a series of big plays before the end of the first half that shifted the momentum. This is a play that perhaps shifts the momentum back to their side.
Yeah,
we'll see as the second half unfolds, but
as Coach Alvarez
shot in the arm.
He explains the game of football as a pendulum on a clock. It's going to go back and forth, and the pendulum is the momentum. And for a long time, it's been swaying the other way for whoever the Badgers have been playing. That's one play. That's one series. This game is far from over. There's a whole half of football to play, but you know, things like that just haven't been happening to this team as of late.
And that will be the final play of the first half. The Badgers go into the locker room out in front of the Iowa Hawkeyes by a count of 27-14.
This month on PBS, look at life from a different perspective. You never know when it will surprise you. Life 360. Then, go where no tourist has gone before, inside the Vatican. And from those who have fought and fallen, these are their words. War letters on American Experience. All this month on PBS.
What are the best ways to deal with the unspoken fears of young children regarding their safety and that of their family?
Younger children frequently have unspoken fears, and they don't talk a lot about them because either they're embarrassed or sometimes they don't even understand that they have them. When parents are concerned, there are a number of things that they can do, including looking at what the child is drawing, what is the child talking about, what kind of play is a child engaging in. If a child in the past has never been involved with guns and suddenly is walking around shooting everybody, or building houses that are being knocked down, one can easily assume that this is at least worth a discussion with the child about what is going on. In addition, children may demonstrate changes in their nighttime behavior. Nighttimes are very frightening for young children. They may have sleep disturbance, they may wander into the parent's bedroom, They may start wetting their bed when they had not done that in the past, giving the parent clear signals that this child is very upset about something and needs to have an opportunity to talk about it.
This is WMVT, Milwaukee Public Television, Channel 36.
Advanced out, Jamie Vandervelt, moments away from the start of the second half. The Badgers will start on offense as the second half gets underway. Let's show you how we got to the 27-14 total. He's called Kahlil Hill, and he is a thrill of a receiver, and he has been the Iowa offense thus far. Banks, the backup quarterback, first connects with Hill in a crowd, and he took a stick from Mike Eccles, but credit Hill for hanging on.
It took a while for him to get up, but he comes back and makes the Badgers pay on this play.
And then it was the little hitch and go, and Eccles, the senior, bit on the fake, and it was all Hill. And it was almost as if he was running downhill at that point in time.
That's a bit of a reward for that hit he took from Eccles in the first touchdown.
And then Jerome Pettis, subbing for Anthony Davis, comes in, hits the crease, explodes, touchdown. And then on a big 3rd and 5, Brooks Bollinger goes up top to 6'6" Darren Charles, and he recognizes where the ball was, and really the defender there got turned around and never knew where the ball was. And that's a true freshman making a play that you would expect to see an upperclassman make. Here are the numbers. 13 to 15, those are the first downs. Rushing yards, and the Badgers have 98 yards rushing, and last week Michigan had 100 for the game.
Well, the Badgers have a lot of work to do if they want to get Anthony Davis over 100 yards. He's only got 53 in the first half, but as you go down the list and look at these stats, 2 of them pop out. The turnovers, Iowa has 2 and lost 2 turnovers. Or excuse me, they had two fumbles and lost 2 fumbles. The other one was the penalties, 7 for Iowa for 58 yards. The Badgers only have 5 yards of penalties.
Here's the last fumble, and boy, what a momentum swing this could be as this game moves along. You've got a throwing quarterback running the ball. Don't know that I like that mixture, but Coach Ferentz didn't talk to me and consult with me on that play either. So
well, there
just as well.
Anybody outside of the Iowa team didn't know that play was coming. Nobody expected it. It was a good call. The senior quarterback played a lot of snaps, just had a mental mistake and not wrap. He didn't cover the ball up when he got into a crowd, and Badgers make him pay for it.
Jerome Pettis and Michael Broussard deep on the kickoff. I don't know if they're giving Nick some extra time or if he was shaken up or what. Kading has not had a return yet anyway. He's got the wind at his back. See ya.
Well, Van, as I look down on the sidelines, Nick Davis, helmet off. His helmet's not even in his hands. And he's standing on the sidelines, right about the 30-yard line. So we'll have to get an update on that situation.
Well, you know, he had a catch there on that last scoring drive by Wisconsin and appeared to be okay, but
you know, maybe it's just equipment. Maybe there's something wrong with his helmet, but you would think coming out of the locker room you wouldn't have that situation. So
1st and 10 for the Badgers from their own 20-yard line. Stretch play. Davis still on his feet, 5 yards. Nice pickup for Anthony Davis.
Good first play, getting right back into it. Tough 5 yards. Breaks an arm tackle and scoots through the hole. Here you see the halftime stats for Brooks. 9 of 14, 170 yards and 1 touchdown. He's also got 6 rushes, 23 yards. Most of that coming on his quarterback Keith, the rollout for the touchdown.
Well, I correct myself. Iowa held Michigan's rush offense to only 63 yards last week, not 100.
So 36 carries.
Yeah, the Badgers are doing far better than that. Speaking of run, there goes Davis. And he moves the pile about 2.5, maybe 3 yards. It's going to set up a 3rd and 2, and that was a very good stat in the first half. 5 of 8.
Bread and butter. Zone play to the left. He cuts it back, finds the hole, ends up running into the back of his own center, Al Johnson, who finished his block, but runs into the pile there. And 3rd and 1 situation. Lee Evans, Darren Charles check out of the game.
Oh, they got the double tight ends.
Well, they got Coons I would expect him to come. Well, no.
They got both teams in.
Right.
And it's going to depend on the spot. I don't think he has enough for the first down. No.
I don't think he's short. Well, it's obvious where you're going to go when you bring both of the Coons boys in. Both of them play fullback.
Well, here's a decision for Barry Alvarez. Now he's going to punt. Not much of a decision.
Yeah, don't give him a chance. Just kick the ball.
Matt Mialik. Katula has a broken arm, so Morse had problems. He's had a punt blocked today, partially blocked.
Well, and that blocked punt came off of a high snap.
Well, he was a little deliberate too in trying to get it off. But see if he's a little quicker. There's a high snap. End over end punt.
We're doing this one over.
Well, Iowa recovers. That was DJ Johnson who got the deflection and recovered.
Well, this one's coming
against Wisconsin. They'll do it all over again.
Yeah, this one's coming back.
Matt Mialik is not lacking in strength for getting the ball back there. Morse could move back another 5 yards. It'd be a perfect snap.
If you're Barry, the last thing you want to see is having to do a punt over because you don't know what's going on with your snapper. He doesn't have a lot of game experience. He had a couple high snaps. If you get a punt off, keep playing. You don't want to have to do it over. And Barry's asking for the number. Heads up play by DJ Johnson.
On the offense. 10 yards previous spot. Still 4th down.
DJ Johnson, number 5. He's covering a sprinter for the Badgers. When he gets back there, the ball gets tapped to him. He just grabs it and falls. But it's all for naught. Come back and do it again.
All right, here we go. Take 2 for Morse and Mialik. Better snap. Line drive. This one's going to be returned. It's Oliver. Oliver gets to about the 44-yard line, a 41-yard boot by Morse. In the warm-ups before the start of the second half, Morse was, I mean, of course, there's nobody coming after him. He was just booming that ball.
Well, and you saw on that, there was a good snap. Mialik got the ball back there quick. But Morris, I think, just wanted to get this ball off because they've had some trouble early on.
Banks back in at quarterback.
That's
Morris, a surprise.
You see Morris there. He's a little disappointed in that kick, but
Oliver in motion. Now comes back the other way. Betts hits the crease. Goes to about the 46-yard line. Betts in the first half. Very productive.
7 carries, 56 yards in the first half. Outgained Anthony Davis. There you see Wendell in on the tackle. Wendell's all over the place. You know, he hasn't, because he's doubled, you don't hear his name a lot as far as big plays, but he's in on a lot of tackles. Look at his stats. He's the 5th leading tackler on the team.
Betts again. Uh-oh. Betts rides Bose for the first down. Well, Bryant leads the Big Ten with 8 QB sacks, and he's tied for 2nd in tackles for loss with 15. So he has made his share of plays, and he had a fumble recovery in the first half.
And as we see this replay, we saw the same play in the first half. Go for big yardage, just like he did on this play, moving the chains. Doesn't even have to make a cut. Runs into Bose, and Bose wrestles him down. But
and if it wasn't for Bose, who knows how far Betts goes.
Exactly.
Banks. Betts cuts it back, stays on his feet, inside the 40, down to the 38-yard line. About a 4-yard pickup. Betts only has one 100-yard rushing game this year, and this is for a guy that ran for better than 1,000 last season. He became the Hawks' first 1,000-yard rusher since 1997, and a young man by the name of Tavian Banks.
Pretty good player. Well, you're seeing Iowa come out. Didn't know how they'd come out after halftime after not capitalizing on that long drive. They're coming out and moving the ball just like they did at the end of the first half.
Banks. Oh, Betts cuts it back on his feet. Still on his feet. He cuts it back. Cuts back inside. Touchdown, Betts. Man, oh man, that was a Singer sewing machine there. He was cutting back left, right, left, missed tackles.
Earlier in the week, Barry talked about how much not having Jason Doring in the backfield. Obviously, he's gone. He's a senior. He graduated, but you know, Bose misses a tackle right there. There's another missed tackle on Bryson Thompson, but he's just grabbing for heels at that point. The defensive line for the Badgers, as the games go on, because they're smaller, they wear down. This big physical offensive line for Iowa is taking advantage of them right now.
Point after is good, and just like that, Iowa has cut into the lead, and they now trail 27-21.
Well, and that's 2 series in a row now that they've just taken the ball and thrown it down the Badger throat. Obviously, the first time right before the half, they didn't capitalize on it, but right here, good run. Makes a couple nice cuts. Gets back to the middle of the field. And
Betts, 11 carries, 112 yards.
And he had 56 at half. So he's got 56 in 1 series in the second half. Now it's easy. Starks is turned around. He's got a blocker in front of him.
Credit Betts with good peripheral vision there, because he simply just ran to daylight. He saw one Badger, he went the other way. He saw one Badger, he went the other way.
Keep him confused.
So the Badgers now will try to get their offense stoked up again. They're out front 27-21. We've got 10:45 to go in the third quarter. And I'm still going to harken back to what I said. The team that might have the ball last could win this game.
The way it's going right now, 6-point game. It's definitely anybody's game. Team stats. 277 total yards for the Badgers, 306 for Iowa right now. There you see Lee Evans. Coach Huber, the offensive line coach, right behind him, just passed by. Coach Hughes has done an extremely good job of coaching this young offensive line and putting a good group of 5 out there every week.
It remains Pettis and Broussard back to return the kickoff, although the way that Kading has buried it, no one has had a chance for a return.
4 plays, 56 yards. Big plays. 7 last week, a few this week. 38-yard touchdown run.
Well, that probably keeps Kevin Cosgrove up at nights. Kading flipped the ball, and Pettis is going to return it. A good return by Pettis. It was about 4 yards deep.
Yeah, right in that area where you don't know if you're going to bring it out or sit on it, but he brings it out and gets a good gain out of it. Had to scoot over a couple of falling guys, but did a good job. And Nick Davis still sitting on the sidelines without a helmet.
Evans split to the far side. Charles to the near side. Bollinger, straight drop back. Goes over the middle. Finds his tight end with a catch. Anelli. Whoa, what a nice grab, Mark Anelli. The big 6'5" senior went up. He got it, pulled it down, and the Badgers have a first down as they move the ball up to the 46-yard line.
Well, he's 6'5", 255 pounds, running right down the middle. Full speed, got to put his arms, jumps up and gets this. That's a tough catch for a big man to make. Gets hit by 3.
Bollinger now 10 of 15, just shy of 200 yards, is 194 passing yards.
There's Anelli being effective. 2 catches, 31 yards.
Not a bad average.
Not at all.
Stretch play, Davis. Iowa did a nice job to string it out. Pagel makes the stop for the Hawkeye defense.
And he caught enough of Anthony Davis's collar just to throw him off balance, because Davis almost got to the corner on that play. There you see Pagel. He's the one who Darren Charles jumped for the touchdown in the first half. And there's Nick Davis standing on the sidelines behind the trainer, no helmet in hand.
2nd and 9 for the Wisconsin offense. Bollinger, straight drop back, flushed, and sacked. He sacked on the play by Cole.
Well, Iowa confuses the Badgers' offensive line. They run a stunt here and loop Cole off from the end position, and he comes scot-free. There he is. Brooks can't see him until it's too late.
Yeah.
Good job of just tucking the ball and taking it. 3rd and 15. Not a lot of plays in the book for this.
Well, you figure they look in the direction of number 3, Evans. Evans, 5 catches, 121 yards. He split to the far side.
You got Byron Brown in the game for the first time for the Badgers as well.
Bollinger goes over the middle. Oh, there's got to be a flag. There it is. Automatic first down. Charles draws the flag. Some dirty laundry down in that field, and the referees will clean it up against the Iowa defense.
Well, and just...
Here's your guy, Chikose.
What was that?
Igioza.
Hey, God bless you.
I covered my mouth.
A good
interference, defense, spot foul, automatic first down.
Good call by Brian White. Keeps the middle of the field wide open and puts his biggest receiver right down in there. Brooks finds him, throws a good ball, and Chikose.
Igioza.
Thank you.
He's playing in place of the injured Matt Stockdale, out with a leg injury. Stockdale normally the starting corner at the left side.
Well, and penalties continue to hinder Iowa. They got 8 for 68 now.
That's a category where you don't want to leave. Here's Anelli providing a block for Davis, but Iowa closes down the hole very quickly.
That play just seemed like it took a little bit too long to get everybody on their blocks. Everybody was covered up, but by the time Anthony Davis got to the hole, Iowa had enough guys to catch up to it.
But it is productive yardage as opposed to no gain.
There's Anelli turning his guy. If Anelli could possibly kick that guy out, it allows Anthony Davis to cut up into the hole a little bit quicker, but they still pick up 3 yards. There's C.L. Johnson, 72. There's Anthony Davis.
Under 8 minutes of the 3rd quarter. Handoff, Davis, nowhere. Oh, a late flag.
That's the same play they ran 1 play ago. It's just Anthony Davis decided to run it up inside. They pull their right guard. They pull Mike Anelli.
Anelli saying face mask, and is that going to be an incidental? Now Davis got a face mask call in the first half that was a 15-yarder. Let's see how many they spot off here. There's Big Al Johnson, the center of attention for the Badger offensive line.
5-yard incidental face mask on the defense. It leaves us short. 2nd down.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's a free 5.
That's a great call by Villamagné, the referee. He's a short. 2nd and 1 now, huh? I like that. That's good, you know, giving all the information one could ever need to know. Here's a gamble down.
Yeah, you got 1 yard to go at 2nd down. You can take a chance here.
Let's see if they go for the home run. Evans to the far side, Charles to the near side. Oh, movement. I think they're going to give it right back to him.
Jonathan Clinkscale, number 50. That's who everybody's pointing at. The Badgers are walking backwards.
Prior to the snap, ball start offense. 5 yards, 2nd down.
You think Coach Huber's a little upset over on the sideline?
Well, there it is. It's a pass play. Tell you that much. He's rocking back, getting out. He wanted to get out of that stance pretty quick.
Oh boy. Well, so much for the gamble down.
Yeah, now you're right back to where you were a minute ago.
Evans, Charles to the near side. Well, I tell you what, closing in a hurry is number 39 of the Hawkeye defense, Dalzell, and he did a nice job to just create the seam for himself to make the stop against Davis.
Well, the Badgers are running off to the right tackle. They pull Clinkscale, the right guard, and he's got nobody to block. By the time he finds somebody, he's right by him and makes a tackle on Anthony Davis.
Well, it's 3rd and 5. You want to keep the ball, the chains moving here for the Badger offense. So far, 5 of 9 for Wisconsin on 3rd down. Bollinger. He's going deep. He's got Evans. Evans has the first down to the 2-yard line.
You know, Van, if I'm Barry Alvarez or Brian White, that's a good call. What are you going to do? He's the best guy in the country. And just throw the ball in his area, let him go get it.
It's one-on-one coverage. That's what I don't understand.
You know,
it's one-on-one coverage, and he beats Sapp like a rented mule.
What you're not going to get to see here is Lee Evans puts a move on Sapp that makes Sapp bite. We saw Kahlil Hill do it to Mike Eccles in the first half. Well, Lee Evans did the same thing to Sapp on this play. Sapp's close enough, though, on this one where he's able to stop Lee short of the end zone.
Touchdown, Wisconsin. Anthony Davis across the goal line, and the Badgers pad their lead 33-21. Let's get back to Sapp for a moment. This is a big weekend in more ways than one. Big rivalry game, Iowa, Wisconsin. Tomorrow in Green Bay, Tampa Bay, and Green Bay. Warren Sapp happens to be a cousin of Benny Sapp.
Well, I'll tell you, if the Packers are able to pick on Warren Sapp the way the Badgers have picked on Benny Sapp, there's going to be a lot of happy people here in Wisconsin. But Lee Evans having another incredible game. 6 catches, 163 yards. Sets up another touchdown.
Kick is up, and it's good. Now, you've also got a different holder down there. Munden is holding.
Well, we saw that last week.
Sorgi, when he went down, and Sorgi, they still don't want him probably out on the field for fear that he might could get jostled.
You know, if Munden's out there and they got enough reps at it and they all feel comfortable with it, keep Sorgi out of there. No need to get him an extra hit in the head if you don't have to. Once you get a concussion, it's pretty easy to knock your marbles around again. There you see Ferenc.
Or as his friends call him, Ferenc.
Yeah, that too.
Anthony Davis has had some tough sledding. 24 carries, 70 yards. He's got more yardage than the Michigan offense had last week. But a good hole as he ran over the right side of the line, and he ran right up and into, I think it was his right guard.
I was going to say, he gets touched at the end of the play there. A Hawkeye falls on top of him, but he's fallen into the end zone because he ran into one of his own offensive linemen.
And that's a Barry Alvarez drive.
Exactly.
7 plays, 77 yards, just shy of 4.5 minutes, and you're back on top by a baker's dozen as Mr. Sun peeks through the haze, and doesn't get much better than this on a Saturday afternoon on the 3rd day of November, no less.
Could be worse. I've played in worse here.
Well, where the hockey Badgers were last weekend up in Grand Forks, they ran into a foot of snow. Guess what? That snow's on the ground until next March. Or April, or May, for that matter.
Well, I haven't sharpened up my shovel yet, so I'm not ready for any snow.
All right. Let's see it. Dial a kicker, and it's going to be Neuser.
Why not?
We've seen Espinoza. We've seen Neuser. Haven't seen Mike Allen yet. Maybe Barry saving it.
Don't take a chance. Go with what works.
Ooh. Still on his feet is number 2, Fred Russell, a reserve running back.
And Mark Neuser, the kicker, 5'9", all 5'9" and all of 165 pounds, probably the smallest guy in the field. Steps up and makes the tackle on the play.
Well, Russell's not exactly. He's 5'8", 185. So, yeah.
Hey, kickers don't ever get hit. Boom! There you go.
Well, he slowed him down.
There you go.
McCann remains in at quarterback for the Hawk offense. All right, here we go. The boot. And McCann's going to run it himself. I'm sorry, Banks. What game am I at?
That's all right. That's all right.
Brad Banks.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, if McCann was in there, we don't see that play.
No.
Now, Banks has been able to take advantage of a few plays like this today. You see him give some nice fakes. Hide the ball in your belly and follow through with your other hand.
This kid's got some talent.
Yep.
He's got some quicks, too.
JC transfer. Give him some time here. He may be the man.
out of Belglades, Florida. Iowa's done a nice job to go down in Florida and get some kids.
There's a lot of them down there. A lot of talent in that state.
But you know where most. Oh, look at this! Huge pressure that time by the nose guard, Ben Herbert. He did a little flex here, a little Hulk Hogan. He Hulkicized there as he almost got Banks. Banks was just quick enough to get rid of the ball on the pass.
Well, nobody blocks him. They're trying to run a screen play here. If Chuck Smith doesn't have somebody at his feet, he might intercept this pass.
He batted it down.
Nobody accounted. It almost looks like they're running it. Well, the center doesn't want to come on over and get him. Center's got to take some more off of Ben Herbert to keep him off of the quarterback.
3rd and 7. Iowa on 3rd downs today, 2 of 5. Here comes the blitz. There goes Banks. First down and then some. Man, oh man. Well, you got to keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, you're gambling when you put a blitz on this kid because you're coming from the outside with your blitz. It's not coming up the middle. You got to keep somebody home to watch that. He just steps up into the pocket, takes the ground that the Badgers are giving him. Erasmus James is going to chase him down. He's close, but Ben Herbert, there's your 240-pound nose guard. I mean, he's running all over the place chasing this kid. But, hey, Banks is a good quarterback. Smart play. Picks up the first. It's Palermo and Cosgrove discussing how to stop that escapability of Banks.
Tackle him.
Wrap him up. Hit him.
Banks over the middle. Caught. Banks throws a nice ball, too. C.J. Jones hauls it in, and the Hawkeyes are knocking at the door. They have the ball down at the Wisconsin 22-yard line.
Too much time. The play before this, they blitz and they get caught. This play, they rush 4, and there's no pressure. I mean, there's nobody within 5 yards of them. Throws a nice ball, and Bose's got to make the tackle.
And Jones makes an even nicer grab when you consider he had to turn around and look into that sun.
Well, we saw the sun play a role in the game on the first play of the game when the Badgers kicked the ball off, and Kahlil Hill couldn't see it to catch it. It almost hit him in the end zone.
Here's the numbers by Banks. He's been money in the bank for the Hawkeye offense. Play fake. Quarterback draw. Wendell Bryant says, no, get it out of here. Get it out of here. 2 7s are better than 1 7. That's simple math right there.
Number 78, Robert Gallery. He's playing tackle for Iowa. He's got a pretty decent block on Wendell, but Banks has to cut it to the outside. Here, we'll get another shot at this. Banks, it's quarterback draw all the way.
Wendell just shucks him aside, and then actually 78 Gallery got in his way.
Yeah.
So give Wendell half a sack and Gallery the other hand. Right?
That's right.
You take him any way you get him, Wendell, right? Under 4 minutes. The Hawks 2nd and 11. Wisconsin shows blitz. Here it comes from the outside. That's the right defensive call and a good offensive call by Iowa as they hit that naked area as Schick was coming from the outside.
Jason Schick hasn't played a lot of snaps, but he's played a lot in the last couple of weeks. He's coming on the blitz. We saw him miss a sack on a blitz in the first half on the Iowa quarterback. This time he gets in there. Get your hands up. Try and knock the ball down. If you're not going to get to the quarterback in time, don't leave your feet and just get your hands up.
That's the first pass of the year reception for Eric Jensen. Dallas Clark, remember, had his knee injured. It's 3rd and 4.
Well, and Dallas Clark playing tight end, he's a big part of their offense.
Yes, he is. Here comes the blitz. Banks. And it's going to be a first down. Bose on the coverage. C.J. Jones and Banks have been a very good combination, and well, they should. You know why? They're cousins.
Well, and they're putting this kid all over the place. They're lining them up across safeties. They're putting corners on him. This time it's just a quick route. Get past the first and cut in, and I'll get you the ball.
That was Robert Brooks.
And he's got good coverage on it, but when you only need a couple yards, you can't give him a big cushion.
1st and goal from the 6.
There you see a pretty disturbing stat if you're a Badgers defense.
Banks is going to burn a timeout. Didn't like what he saw. Their first timeout of the second half, 2:37, and when you're down by 13 points, Good call by Banks to make sure that he has the right call against the Badger defense.
Well, it's a lot better to burn a timeout and make sure you're all on the same page than to go out there and have a miscue and turn the ball over or just waste it down. So heads up play.
After a much needed week off, the Badger football team returns to the Camp Randall Gridiron as they host the Michigan Wolverines on Saturday, November 17th. Kick time at 10 p.m. right here on Wisconsin Public Television, the final home tilt of the 2001 fall campaign. Badgers need to win today on the 17th and then on the 24th to keep alive their bowl hopes. While Wisconsin is enjoying that Saturday off, here's a look at who will play. Indiana at Michigan State, Iowa at Northwestern. And as we said, Iowa needs to win 2 of their remaining 4 to have a shot at a bowl. Minnesota at Michigan, Penn State at Illinois, and Purdue goes to the Horseshoe in Columbus, Ohio.
You know, Van, I know the Badger defense is out there right now, but we mentioned that Nick Davis isn't back in the game. Right now, he's standing on a bench behind the whole Badger team. He's shaking out his right leg. He was touching around his calf. Maybe he took a shot in the calf or pulled a muscle or something, but it's pretty obvious there's no intention to get him back into the scheme of things for this Badger offense. He's got a good view from the bench right now.
Oliver split to the near side. Here comes Schick from the outside. Option, Betts. Oh, driven out of bounds. He got 3 yards. He gets up slow. He was popped by Bose.
Good job by Erasmus James playing defensive end, coming up and forcing Banks to pitch it. You know, you're playing into the short side of the field. And he's able to pick up 3 yards here, but Bose saves a touchdown here, comes up and makes a big hit.
He sure did.
Gets a little help from his friends.
Iowa down at the 2-yard line, 2nd and goal. They quickly get to the line of scrimmage. Banks. Betts can't rub off into the end zone. 3rd and goal, down to the 1-yard line.
Well, they're on the goal line, they're chunking it out. Saw the stat earlier that the Badgers 30 of 31 times on defense have given up points in the red zone. Iowa wants nothing less than a touchdown at this point.
You know, Iowa's offense was dead last in the Big Ten last year, and this year they're averaging more points than any other team in the Big Ten.
Well, that's a pretty disturbing stat right there as well. 15 times, all 15 times the opponents have scored on goal to go.
3rd and goal from the 1. Banks going to run the naked boot. Touchdown, Banks. Wisconsin really bit on the play fake to Aaron Greving, and Banks strolled in for 6.
Well, and you can credit Brian White and Brooks Bollinger for showing Iowa that play. I mean, it worked so well for the Badgers. Why not use it for Iowa? And another great play fake. I mean, nobody's got a chance at him. It's too late before anybody recognizes that he's still got the ball. But as you mentioned a few times already, this game could come down to who has the ball last.
Point after by Kading is good, and Wisconsin has their lead sliced again. It's now 34-28. Nice drive by Iowa's offense. Banks capped it off on the bootleg.
Good job. Iowa's offense has played well, and they've had a couple nice series in a row. They haven't been able to capitalize on all of them, but they get a touchdown out of this one. And they used a lot of the clock on this drive. They didn't just come up with a big play, which has kind of been the Badgers' defense nemesis, but they chunked it out, ran it up the middle, passed it. They did a lot of things well in that drive.
It's 27-14 at the half, and now you can see it's 34-28. Good job, good sell job there, Greving, and then Banks. It's a foot race, and he gets there before Bose gets to him.
Yeah, they made it look pretty easy on that play. You saw Ben Herbert on that replay. Then instead of nose guard on goal line defense, they moved him out to defensive end, and he came down hard all the way down the line and bit on the fake. He ended up tackling the running back well.
You know, when we traveled several weeks ago to Ohio State, Belisari, the quarterback for the Buckeyes, not real popular with the fans, and we even heard some boos here at Camp Randall Stadium when Ferentz brought McCann back into the second quarter. And there were boo birds down in Iowa City last Saturday against McCann. Oh. Katie gets under that one. Broussard. Boy, he's got that ball out there. He needs to wrap that thing up.
High and tight. You got to hold that thing against your chest. Don't be swinging that thing out there. Defensive guy doesn't get to carry the ball a lot.
He is a former running back, though.
A couple shots to the head at safety, and that you forget about that stuff.
Maybe we'll give him a little jump start. Broussard has had 3 interceptions the last 3 Saturdays. Maybe he can make it 4 next time Wisconsin defense gets on the field. Here's the delay. Davis across the 30, across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. Anthony Davis peels off a dozen.
Good job downfield blocking. Darren Charles, true freshman receiver, getting his man. He's blocking up against number 5, DJ Johnson. You're going to see it at the bottom of the screen right there.
25 carries, about 82 yards for Anthony Davis.
And again, last week we saw him, he had to chunk it out to get his 100 yards. And this time, again, nothing's coming easy. It's a hard smash mouth football.
And he's a marked man, too.
Oh, yeah. There's no secret anymore in the backfield.
Davis bounces off, couldn't get to the outside. Pickup of maybe 3.
C-42 Grant Steen. He's in on that tackle. Sophomore linebacker, 6'3", 238. There you see Anthony Davis's numbers. Not a great average, but it's effective. Opens up the pass to Lee Evans.
Yeah, that's been exploited several times today. Bollinger, here comes a blitz. Gets rid of it. Oh, that was underthrown. Charles was thrown to the outside, and it created a lane for DJ Johnson. Fortunately, the ball was underthrown, and Johnson could not get to it.
Well, you got to give credit to Iowa's defensive coordinator on that play. They drop number 98, Derek Robinson. He's a defensive end. They drop him into the coverage instead of rush him. That's why Brooks had to throw the ball to the outside a little bit more, because if he threw it right at Charles, he was going to hit 98 right in the chest.
You know, the way that Iowa's defense has stayed home and kept Bollinger, for the most part, in the rushing lanes, the quarterback draw might not work. Here they come up the middle. Bollinger, sacked. Sacked on the play by Cole.
Well, and Jonathan Klinkscale, young freshman guard, having a tough time. He had a penalty earlier for a false start. This time he ends up giving a sack on a stunt. They run a simple TE, but they cross the tackle, defensive tackle, and they cross the defensive end. It's enough to confuse the young offensive line, and they give up a sack. Nowhere to go.
So the third quarter has come to a close, and the Badgers will kick things off, or will punt things off as we get to the fourth quarter. Wisconsin out front, 34-28.
In this harsh desert canyon, ancient Native Americans built magnificent architecture. What knowledge compelled people to devote 250 years to this effort? Recent discoveries reveal an intricate system connecting these buildings to the movements of the heavens. Please join me, Robert Redford, for The Mystery of Chaco Canyon.
Sunday night at 9, here on Channel 36.
For some 40 years, he's been at the forefront of new possibilities in the medium of television. Producer-director Fred Barczyk is my special guest on the next edition of I Remember.
With winter right around the corner, it's time to think about who lives and who dies in the garden. Hi, I'm Bob Yedowitz, and you know not every plant in the garden will make it through the winter. With annuals such as impatiens, we expect this and allow them to die back. But many other plants like tender summer bulbs, we may choose to store dormant over winter. But some plants, especially tropical house plants like hibiscus or bougainvillea, love to summer in the garden but winter indoors. If you have house plants still cooling their heels outdoors, here's what you need to do. Take the hose and wash them down thoroughly to remove dirt and any insect hitchhikers. If you have an insect problem, spray with an organic insecticidal soap. Once inside, remember that food, water, and light needs will vary from plant to plant. For Gardening on the Go, I'm Bob Yedowitz.
This is Channel 36, WMVT, Milwaukee Public Television, a viewer-supported service of MATC.
Shadows on the field, he's looking right back in that direction, looking right back into the sun.
Nice pass, right where he wanted, right in the old eyes.
He may not have even seen that ball. I think Brooks just put it in his hand.
He heard it.
That's right.
This is a game of feel, right?
That's right.
1st and 10. Here comes an all-out blitz by Iowa. There goes Dave. Oh, man. If he could have gone to the left side, it's easy for us to sit up here 40 yards away. You see that, but the blitz was coming, and if he could have cut it back the other way, he might have had a big, big gain on his hands. But as it is, it's a pickup of about 3.
Well, and for the second time, we got Byron Brown coming into the game. There's the play.
There's
the blitz is picked up well.
Yeah.
Just
Derek
scoot to the
Pagel.
right a little bit more.
Wisconsin did a pretty good job as far as the blitz was concerned last Saturday against Michigan State. Bollinger with time finds a wide open Lee Evans. Evans has the first down into Iowa territory.
Yeah, that's a
Evans, 7th catch. He's now got about 175 yards receiving.
Well, that's the first catch we've seen in the 4th quarter. But what he does, what Lee Evans does, is he's a possession receiver. He's your big play guy, but he's also your possession receiver. He sits down, finds the open spot, catches the ball with his hands, makes a couple guys miss, but when he gets into trouble and he knows he's going to be hit, he covers the ball up with 2 hands and makes sure he doesn't lose it. There you see his stats for the day. I'll take that average.
Yeah. Wisconsin, a pair of 1,000-yard players. Anthony Davis on the ground, Lee Evans in the air. Here's Anthony Davis. Oh, man. Stick in the hole. Jared Claus, and he stuck his mitts around Davis, and Claus makes the play. Out of West Des Moines, academic All Big Ten last year. And this is no gain, but a lot of pain.
There's a movie, The Program, from a bunch of years ago where the coach asked Latimer to find out what flavor gum the guy's chewing. Claus is going to be able to go back and tell his coach what flavor Anthony Davis has got, because that's
he said he wasn't chewing it, coach,
yeah,
because I knocked it out of him.
That's a big hit.
2nd and 10. Bollinger. And he runs. He's still running and gets back to the line. Boy, they were closing in on him in a hurry. Cole led the charge, and Bollinger a little slow in getting up.
You know, Colin Cole, 6'2", 300 pounds. He's a junior defensive end. He has been all over Brooks today. But the thing he hasn't been able to do to Brooks is get a good solid shot in on him. And that's good for Brooks, because you can. It's noticeable that Brooks isn't comfortable running the ball right now.
No. This is not 100% Brooks Bollinger, which, you know, 90% Brooks Bollinger is better than most. 3rd and 10. You talk about critical juncture in the game. Could be right here.
Badgers are 6 for 11.
Here comes an all-out blitz. They pick it up. Bollinger with time. Charles with a catch. No. Man, oh man.
Young mistake. We saw Nick Davis do it earlier in the 1st quarter. Darryl Charles, that catch was almost too easy, but he had a guy coming right at him. Footsteps.
They did everything.
Watch it. It's in his hands. It's caught. You see him. He doesn't even watch the ball. And you got to watch that ball and tuck it in when you go in the middle. He knew he was going to get hit. That's too bad. They had a good series going. They had the 1st down with that catch.
Well, now you ask for your special teams. Morse. That's going to go sailing away. Sailing away. Sailing away. Touchback. Morse. Oh, he's hurt. He's hurt.
Oh, he pulled that hamstring back in the Oregon game at Oregon.
Son of a gun. I tell you, this has just been an injury-plagued season for Wisconsin. You got your long snapper out with a broken arm, and now here comes R.J. Morris, and he's walking off the field. He's done.
Well, he's a huge, huge punter. And hamstrings are so tough, and he did. His old man got him.
Yeah, he was. Campman blocked in. David Braun right into Morris.
Well, you move on. You don't have a choice.
Nope. Now you got to call on your defense. They were able to shuck the Hawkeyes on the last drive. Let's see if they can do it again. It's 34-28. A lot of time and not much of a lead.
I'm taking a look at Morris. I think he twinged his hamstring again because they're going down to stretch him out. We're going to look at the fans. The Badger defense has played tough today. They've had a couple bad drives or bad series where Iowa's been able to chunk it out against them. They gave up a couple big plays, but they've improved from last week on the 7 plays over 30 yards. Today, off the top of my head, I think they've only given up 2 big plays. When I say big plays, over 20 yards.
Get connected to all your Badger sports broadcast information at www.wdpt.org/sports. It's all just a mouse click away when you log on to the Wisconsin Public Television website. Boy, that is just that's a beautiful picture right there. Sold out Camp Randall Stadium, not a cloud in the sky. That's what is known as a Chamber of Commerce picture. First and 10 from their own 20. Banks and company. The pump fake. They didn't bite on it this time, and he short hopped it. Scott Starks, he stayed home. He stayed right with number 8 Jones. He was covering him like a cheap suit.
Scott Starks had a rough game last week. They went at him early in this game, and they haven't gone back to him until now. He's been playing pretty solid. The reason they haven't gone back to him is because there's been nothing to get to.
Banks with time, and a little miscommunication there. He was looking for Hill. Hill stopped short, and Banks just, I don't know if he threw it away or not, but it falls as an incompleted pass. It's now 3rd and 10.
And there you get a shot. The guy with the tan cap, his name's Chris Doyle. He's their strength coach down in Iowa, and he's the guy that's been credited with getting this program back in the right direction. Big into powerlifting.
Oh, he's a former assistant here at Wisconsin.
Correct. He worked under John Detman my senior year here. And
look what he did to you, huh?
Absolutely. They love him down there.
You're
just
chiseled.
a great guy.
You are chiseled.
If they had that hat off, he'd look just like Butterbean.
3rd and 10. Here comes the blitz. Banks had to unload and complete. The Badger defense sent everybody.
That's 2 3rd and longs. The Badgers have been able to get some pressure on the quarterback. Good series again.
3 and out. Kading to punt. Back deep. Jim Leonard, true freshman. Ooh, a wobbler. Leonard goes by 1 into Iowa territory. Man, he can accelerate. And there's an injured Hawkeye down on the field. That's Scott Boland.
Well, and he's the guy we saw. Well, we got a penalty on the Badgers here too, but he's the guy that we saw Jim Leonard avoid.
Barry Alvarez is none too happy right now.
There's the punt. Now they're going to call roughing the kicker on this. I don't know.
Well, if he's blocked into, that's only 5 yards if it's incidental, which would. So Boland is obviously hurt.
Running into the kicker, 5-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
So it's still 5-yard penalty, so they get to do it all over again.
Yeah, but that hurts because instead of having the ball on the, close
inside Iowa territory.
Now you got to do it all over again. There's no guarantees. Got a guy who hasn't had a lot of experience catching punts. That's too bad.
Was that David Braun who was blocked into?
I think so. What they called was because he got thrown down on the ground, he ended up rolling out of it. And when he rolled, his feet caught the punter.
Good punt this time. Fair catch call for. Oh. They got to get, that's going to be interference. Oh, man, multiple flags down. Somebody do a Tide commercial because there's all this dirty laundry on the field.
Well, they're trying to sell that their guy was pushed into him.
No.
And right there, there's no, that ball's live right there. He dropped it. I don't know about the second flag. I think they're going to wipe that one off. But when he doesn't catch that ball, whether he called for the fair catch or not, that's a live ball. Just because he stopped, he can still get hit.
8-12 in the fourth quarter. Wisconsin 34, Iowa 28. 77th game in this rivalry. Badgers won a nail biter in Iowa City a year ago, 13-7. Iowa's last win in the series came in 1996 in Iowa City when they skunked the Badgers 31-zip.
Easy. Their
last win at Wisconsin was 1995, 33-20.
Well, the refs are still trying to figure this one out. I think we're going to get an explanation right now.
We had 2 fouls on the play. The first foul, the contact foul, is not a foul. The man bobbled the ball. We did have a 2-yard radius foul. That will be assessed 5 yards, first down.
Right.
Kirk Ferentz, oh man, he's not real happy.
Well, we've seen a lot of this out of him today. And the reason is they got 10 penalties for 78 yards. This is going to be the 11th for 83. But the first penalty is the running into the, or breaking the 2-yard cushion you have to give Jim Leonard when he's catching the punt.
Well, this is intended to be G-rated entertainment. I hope you can't read lips because Kirk Ferentz is not a real happy camper right now.
Hey, emotions are flying. It's that type of a game.
It's enforced from the spot of the foul, first down.
So the Badgers still have excellent field position on this start. 43 of their own 43-yard line with 8:12 to go. Boy, you were looking at that Barry Alvarez, about a 6.5-minute drive. You punch it in for 6 and you go home happy. Davis, oh, he cuts it back into Iowa territory, down to the 49-yard line.
Hey,
Davis now 97 yards on 30 carries.
I got on Jonathan Clinkscale a few minutes ago for jumping off sides and missing a block. This time he pulls from his right guard spot. You see him right there. He's out of your picture. Gets a good block. Gets into his man and pushes him out. Anthony Davis, good reading up the field. 8 yards on that play.
Good thing Anthony has his jersey coated with Vaseline. That's the way he was able to squirt away from those Hawkeye defenders there, eh?
Oh, that's illegal. Nobody would ever do that.
Okay, all right, whatever you say. 2nd and 2. Oh, look out. This is Barry Alvarez, power football. We're going to jam it down your throat until you can prove you can stop us. Davis goes over 100-yard mark.
Well, and this is just good movement by the offensive line. Good cut right up the middle. Doesn't get touched for 5 yards. Hey, if you're not getting touched for 5 yards, your offensive line is doing a great job. 31 rushes, 104 yards, 1 touchdown.
What do you want to bet we see 28 again?
Keep it going. Why not? Well, now he's got 102 yards.
Well, Jim Huber is all over his offensive line. Man, oh man, he's measuring about a 3-2 on the Richter scale, chomping up and down that sideline.
He's a perfectionist. I'll tell you what. I had the opportunity to play for him. What Huber does better than anybody is he gets around his players. He becomes your father. I mean, he's a father figure for you, and he teaches your guys. He talks to you like your guys and not just, you know, 4-year guys that are coming through the program. He becomes your friend, and these players really respond for him. He's done a great job over the years.
Davis last week, a 32-yard game, 32-carry game, 101 yards. That's exactly where he is today. Here comes the blitz. Wisconsin picks it up. They swing it outside to Coons. Coons, excellent cover on the play by number 25 of the Hawkeye defense, Derek Pagel.
Not a lot of room for Coons to turn up the field and run there. That's a tough catch for him to make. Again, looking back into the sun right at the sideline.
We'll call it 3rd and 8. The Badgers 6 of 12 on 3rd down. A decoy between Shaver and Sorgi. Signal to play in. One's the hot read, one's just a decoy. 3rd and 8. Does Iowa come with a blitz? Here it comes. Bollinger. He took the hit, but he got the first down.
Oh. He waited until the 4th quarter to take this hit. He's not taking that hit in the 1st quarter, but I'll tell you what, this was the time to take a hit if you're going to do it.
That might be one of the biggest 3rd down conversions of this entire season.
And you can tell he's not full speed right there, but he gets far enough before he gets hit to get the first down. Good job cutting back. Good job of blocking by the offensive line.
DJ Johnson.
Iowa does a great job of covering up the Wisconsin receivers, and that's the only option left.
Davis wiggles for 3. Down to the 26, 27-yard line.
As we're under 6 minutes to go here, this is the kind of drive, if you're Barry Alvarez, you want to see your offense do. Chunk it out. Brooks' numbers having a good day today. 262 yards passing. The bulk of that to Lee Evans.
But Charles has had a nice game too. And he split to the near side, Evans to the far side along with David Braun. Stretch play, Davis to the outside, inside the 20, inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. Anthony Davis. It's money time, and number 28
4th quarter
is withdrawing from the Iowa defensive bank.
Wisconsin football, 4th quarter. The attitude is to wear you down into the 4th quarter. And if we get you to the 4th, we're going to knock you out. This is the type of drive and the type of football we're used to seeing out of this Wisconsin offense.
So many years we've seen Terrell Fletcher, Brent Moss, Ron Dane,
Carl McCullough,
Anthony Davis. The Badgers have had 9 consecutive 1,000-yard rushers. And we named them all there. The lone exception, Michael Bennett, last year. Wisconsin calls a timeout. It started in 93. Brent Moss, 1,637 yards. 94, Terrell Fletcher, 1,476. 95, Carl McCullough, 1,038. 96, Ron Dane, 2,109.
He didn't start a game until the 5th game of the year.
97, Dane, 1,457. 98, Dane, 1,525. 99, Dane, 2,034. 2,000, Michael Bennett, 1,681. And then Anthony Davis, 1,023 coming in, and he's got 118 yards. What's the math? Where's your abacus? Come on.
My math is telling me that's
about 1,100 yards.
45.
There you go. 11:45. No, actually, it's 2:10, but whatever.
I just can't get it right with you.
Seldom have.
Hey.
Which is, you know, I don't know what that says.
Hey. You know, the thing about Anthony Davis, he's a redshirt freshman. This is his 1st year playing college football in live action, live game action. He's not a big guy, but yet he's always moving forward. He's got great speed, he's got good strength, and he secures the ball.
He's a stout-hearted man.
There you go.
He really is. I mean, he's a fire plug. 5'8", 185 pounds, and you know he's very strong. And with another year of conditioning in the offseason with John Detman, he's only going to get stronger. And we've seen throughout the entire year how he's been able to move piles. There aren't too many guys that are 5'8" that move piles.
Not that I know of. The only time I think all day was when he got knocked backwards was that big hit he took on this drive from Jared Klaus, number 90 from Iowa.
There you go, 11:41. Pretty close, you know, that's not bad.
Hey, he guesstimate.
Guess what? He's going to add to it. Davis inside the 10. Davis, touchdown! Anthony Davis and a late flag to boot.
Lee Evans is going to get called for the hold on this one.
They're going to call it back.
They're calling this one back. He gave an extra pull on the defensive back. Right as,
look at Jim, you were going downhill.
Right as Anthony Davis is crossing the field or the goal line, Lee Evans just gives one extra pull. This one's coming back.
Boy, you hate to take points off the board.
Well, it's a good call. I mean, you don't want to see it if you're a Badger fan, but it's the right call.
Lee Evans hasn't done too many bad things.
Offense, 10-yard spot of the foul. Still first down.
Barry Alvarez kind of showed what he.
Well, I think after Barry sees the film, he's going to, he'll probably change his attitude on this one. The only question is whether the guy could have made the tackle or not, but Lee Evans definitely gave him an extra pull, and I think that's exactly what the ref saw. Well, first down, ball's on the 8.
That's actually on the 11.
First and 8 to go. I'm reading the wrong board.
Davis inside the 10 down to about the 9-yard line.
Well, and he's hurt too. He got bent around a little bit. And he saw his guys, Chad Coons especially, jump into that pile quick and try and hold him from getting bent around. See if he pops up. He got twisted up a little bit. You know, anytime you get a big pile like that and the back's not going down, the opportunity for him to get hurt is pretty high, and looks like he got twisted up.
Well, Pettis has had a chance to get lathered up. In fact, he's got a touchdown run as Davis limps off the field.
Watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in. Right there, you saw him go start screaming, and see Chad Coons trying to hold him up.
Pettis spins. Boy, Iowa did a nice job. All you need to do is get a field goal here. Touchdown would be nice, but a field goal makes it a 2-score game.
Now watch it. We're going to get a chance to watch Anthony Davis's run here. It's a good run. He's trying to get some extra yards. Right up the middle. There's the first hit. One guy. 2 guys. 3 guys. Bunch of guys, and anytime you get twisted up there, you never know what's going to happen. And there's Pettis. He put a pretty good move on Pagel, number 25 for Iowa, but pursuit was there to stop him.
We want to bet they run this one to the middle of the field. It's 3rd and 5. Well, they didn't run it to the middle of the field. So in comes Mr. Neuser, who's 2 of 2 today.
Well, and instead of a touchdown, now they're going to try and kick a field goal. That Lee Evans hold. Hopefully it doesn't come back and bite them. But
well, a field goal, if they can convert, makes it a 2-score game with 2:52 and counting. .26-yard attempt by Neuser. 2 of 2. Ooh, and that is no good. Wide right.
Well,
so now Iowa gets the ball at the 20-yard line.
And it's a 6-point game.
You have 6 that are taken away by penalty, and then you fail to get the 3.
Clean snap, clean hold. He just missed it. Not the time to miss a kick. Well, we've seen the defense get the ball back for the Badger offense. They've been playing extremely well in the 4th quarter, getting pressure on the quarterback, stopping the run. It's on their shoulders right now. It's on their shoulders. There's a timeout on the field. There you see Anthony Davis. I think he just twisted up an ankle a little bit. You get in those piles, everybody starts grabbing for a piece of you just to try and bring you down. It's not too hard to get twisted up.
Well, that missed field goal
makes it interesting.
Not only does that, but it kept all the people who were thinking about leaving early.
Yeah.
They're going to stay in their seats now.
Well, again, the Badger defense has sucked it up here in the 4th quarter and really kept the Iowa offense in check. 3 and outs a few times. 6-point game, 2 minutes, 37 seconds left. This would be a good time to get a 3 and out.
The Badgers have given up 42, 42, and 63 in their last 3 Big Ten losses. Let's see what they can do against the Iowa Hawkeye offense now. Banks, a quarterback. They start from their own 20-yard line.
Good job by the defensive line, stretching that play out and not allowing any holes to open up.
Wow, they've got 2 timeouts remaining, and you're running a stretch play.
Well, we've seen him take a couple big shots. They're going to take another one before this one's all over.
Well, it's 4 downs. I mean, you're not going to see Iowa punt the ball. Banks goes deep, and it falls incomplete right there. Mike Eccles on the cover. C.J. Jones, the intended receiver, and Jones had it, bobbled it.
Eccles right there, not beat on the play. Look at this coverage right there. C.J. Jones starts looking back for the ball. Eccles does too. Gets a hand up in there.
Oh.
If Eccles doesn't look back and see that ball at the very last second, C.J. Jones catches that ball.
Well, the defenders are taught to watch the receiver's eyes. When you see them, then you look.
Stride for stride with them right there.
3rd and 7. The Hawks on 3rd down today, 5 of 10 from the spread. Overthrown. Hill, the intended receiver. It's 4th and 8. You got a minute 47. I think you got to go for it, right?
You're not getting the ball back. You got to go for it here.
They've got 2 timeouts.
He had him. B.J. Tucker's in the game. He was beat. Just a badly thrown ball. Fourth down efficiency. They're 0 for 1 as this crowd comes alive.
Everyone on their feet. 79,000 strong, and Iowa's going to take a timeout.
They're trying to ice the crowd here. Well, this is, biggest play of the game right here. You got to make sure you're on the same page.
All right. What do you call here, big shooter?
I don't get paid to call plays.
It's conjecture.
They had some success earlier in the first half, sneaking out the fullback, Allen. If I am Iowa, I'm trying to get Allen matched up on Bryson Thompson.
He's got 12 catches coming in.
I'm coming out in the same set that they just had. Three wides on one side, bring one guy on the other side.
Leak him out
of the backfield and try and get him matched up on Bryson Thompson, because that's the only thing that I can think of right now that I would call.
What do you think's churning inside of his brain right now? Come on, guys, one more stop, and we can celebrate at least until the next game.
Closer to celebrating.
Yeah.
And there's Starks. He's played well today. Defensive backs are like offensive linemen. If you don't have to call their name, it's a good thing.
4th and 7. There's some confusion in the secondary between Brooks and Bose. Up over center, Banks. And it's incomplete, in and out of the hands of Dodge, and the Badgers dodge a bullet.
Well, Tim Dodge is wide open. This ball hits him in the hands. All he's got to do is hug it. Then they got a first down. Minute and 43 seconds left. Iowa turns the ball over. Wisconsin. Iowa's still got 1 timeout left.
A little behind him, but it's a catch you got to make. You got to make
crunch time.
Yeah.
That's why you're out there.
That's why you're on scholarship, right?
That's right. That hit him in the hands.
The Badgers start at the Iowa 22-yard line, and the Hawks, like Jamie said, 1 timeout left. Wisconsin trying to get back to the 500 mark. And Iowa will burn their final timeout. So you got 1:39, a timeout, and it's 2nd. That's a loss of about a yard. Hurts your per carry out there.
Well, he's a quarterback. He'll be all right.
Davis, 36 carries, 132. Bollinger, 14 of 21, 262 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Lee Evans, just another Saturday afternoon at the old camp. 7 for 175, but no touchdowns.
No touchdowns. He's got 9 on the season, but you know what? He set up a couple. Had good blocking downfield until this very last drive for the Badgers, where he got called for that hold and took away that Anthony Davis touchdown. But
yeah,
I'll tell you what.
You know what? I bet you. Anthony probably takes Evans off his Christmas card list with that one, huh?
Well, he might, because that block he threw in the third quarter for Jerome Pettis, Anthony Davis wasn't in on that one.
Exactly. It's like, you know, come on, man.
That's it.
You're hurting me. You could have had 2 touchdowns today.
They don't forget. Well, in Iowa, no timeouts. They can't stop the clock anymore. Victory formation for the Badgers.
Lee Evans is back there.
That's right. He's your security blanket.
Bollinger. Oh, man. Whoa, whoa.
Well, that's going to happen because Brooks isn't going down right away. He's trying to keep the clock going.
But the last thing, when you're trying to just stop the clock, you hate to see somebody, you know, get twisted around and whatever. But
well, Iowa's not done with this game. Obviously, they're trying to get the ball back.
Well, Wisconsin's going to have to either kick this or what, because Iowa is going to have some time remaining. The play clock is at 10 seconds, the game clock 1:02. So now it's 4th down.
Well, and they're going to get the ball back.
I wouldn't risk the punt, or I mean a punt or a field goal. I mean, if you'd run around and try to take a safety.
Hey, if I'm Barry, snap it to Brooks, throw it back to Lee, and let him run through the other end zone. They'll probably take a penalty here. Oh, maybe not. 10 seconds left. They have no intent. They're going to call timeout here.
So 14 seconds, and the Badgers burn a timeout, and they're just going to huddle up over on the sideline, say, okay.
Well, they're going to talk about this one.
Well, it's still a little hitch in Brooks' giddy up. He's still a little gimp leg there. He's played a heck of a game. He's played a heck of a game.
Yeah, you know, he makes a living off his escapability with his legs. Well, he didn't have that today. That was obvious. He didn't put a move on anybody. Tried not to get hit. Took one big shot at a key point in the game to pick up a first down. Other than that, he lived off his arm today. His offensive line kept guys off of him. And the offense for the Badgers played well today all around.
Badgers trying to get back to the 500 mark on the season as well as in the Big Ten. If they hang on, they go to 5-5, 3-3 in the conference.
Well, 5-5 going into a week off before they get to play Michigan with confidence and some momentum.
And they've got a lot of guys banged up. We saw Anthony Davis go down late. Morse perhaps re-aggravating a hamstring.
Well, and who does Michigan play next week? They're not off.
No, they've got a game. So the strategy has been set. Let's see what they do. Well, now they go out of their victory formation, and this is just a standard I set.
Bollinger's just going to run around.
Look at this. Bollinger.
8 seconds left.
So you got time for maybe 2. Maybe. I mean, you're looking at the Hail Mary now. Who's going to come in at quarterback? Is it going to be Banks or McCann?
Well, you got Darren Charles playing defense right now. I guess you can call him a safety as he lines up back at the 25-yard line.
He's a two-way player, right?
He's 6'4". He's a
6'6".
6'6". He's a
But I wonder how good of a
high
tackler
jumper.
he is. That's what I want to know.
They got him back there to knock the ball down. That's it.
3 down linemen.
Erasmus.
Whoa. 2 seconds to go. And with a 3-man rush, good old Rass put some heat on number 7.
Well, he hit him just as he threw the ball, just as he got the ball away. But Brad Banks has to realize that Erasmus James is pretty darn fast. He gets around that tackle, comes all the way back up. Banks is pretty lucky he didn't get sacked there. He holds that ball another count. He's sacked. Game's over.
Okay. One play unless there's a penalty. It's been a good old-fashioned entertaining game. Banks. And that one is going to be intercepted, and that will do it. Nick Bryson, a senior captain, and the Badgers stop their slide at home, and they turn back the Iowa Hawkeyes 34-28. How sweet it is.
Good game all around. Offense played extremely well as they have the last few weeks. Defense stepped up, put a limit on the big plays that they've been giving up, and they got the ball back in the offense's hand late in the game when they needed to.
Badgers now will enjoy a much-needed week off, and then they get ready to entertain the Michigan Wolverines. And you can see it right here on Wisconsin Public Television, 10 p.m. on the night of November 17th. For Jamie Vanderbilt, I'm Van Stout. Again, the happy final score, Wisconsin 30.